call it the big.
Me
Dragons. Boyd has him inside the 10. Touchdown, Dragons. Carroll blocks it. It's scooped up by the Dragons. Going back the other way. Pressure coming up the middle, and they got him. And he lunges into the end zone for the touchdown. And inside the 5 and into the end zone for 6. Touchdown, Dragons. Left side of the set, they keep it on the ground, and a big hole up the middle for Phillips. Phillips across the 20, inside the 15, and he will get into the ends in there. Biggers in the backfield. He'll get it again. Right up the gut. This time he is in for the touchdown. Biggers awaiting the snap. Will throw. Again rolling out to his right. Again being chased. Trying to direct traffic. Throws one down the right sideline looking for Knowles.
They game plan these things throughout what they see on film.
Renda will throw on first down. Taking a shot. Looking end zone. Knowles. Touchdown, Dragons.
And he'll make those sidearm throws. He can do it with his legs. It's just about being consistent.
Goes near sideline, intercepted. Picked off by the Dragon, and it's for Keller. Out of the timeout. Carroll rushes 3. Spy in the quarterback. McCroskey trying to escape. All 3 linemen get home and bring him down. At the 35, Renda fakes the pitch out. Under pressure now, being chased to his left. Couple of guys chasing him. Fires one across the field. The Carroll players, the receiver with some gloves. Hartman throws an interception. Was looking to get it into the flat. Marcus Brous jumped the route, and he returns it for a touchdown tonight. And they'll run a reverse play again. Gunter on the carry. Breaks a tackle across the field. No pressure off that left edge. Here it comes. Taylor trying to roll away from it. Changing directions, fires down the sideline, intercepted, picked off by the Dragons. This is Coons with running room. He could go on.
Hey Dragon fans, welcome to the Dragon Football Night pregame show sponsored by Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. Now here are your hosts, Chris Blake and Robert Clayton.
From the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, it's the 2026 season opener as the Carroll Dragons take on one of the top teams in Oklahoma, the Jenks Trojans, in the State Line Showdown. Hi there, and welcome to another season of Dragon Football. I'm Chris Blake with Robert Clayton. We're excited to bring you our 4th year of Carroll games together. We're joined in the booth tonight by our director, Tim Polster, producer, Trey Bell, and statistician, Monty Clegg. And as the Dragons turn the page to 2026, there's a lot of new going on. The bulk of a group that led Carroll to a 29-2 record over the last 2 seasons has graduated. We just saw a recap of last year's semifinal run. The district went through realignment, and there's a new head coach on the sideline. And Robert, what are you looking forward to as we get ready to start 2026?
Well, first of all, happy 4 years, Chris. Incredible.
It's an anniversary.
I can't believe it's been that long. But first off, Dragon Nation, wanted to thank Coach Riley Dodge for everything he has poured into this program. He represented Carroll with class, carried on the tradition, and gave us some incredible memories. We are grateful for his leadership, and we wish him nothing but success in the next chapter of his life at SMU. Thank you again, Coach. And Chris, as for 2026, I'm most excited to watch this team create its own identity. The last 2 seasons were special, but now it's time for new leaders to emerge, a new head coach to put his stamp on the program, and this group of Dragons to write its own story.
And that new head coach for the Dragons is Lee Munn. Of course, he's a familiar face to Dragon fans. He's been the defensive coordinator for the last 8 seasons, but he's a new name among the head coaching ranks here in Texas high school football. As you got to look at his resume, was the defensive coordinator for the Dragons. Prior to that was at Austin Westlake High School, Marble Falls, coaching under Todd Dodge, Mary Hardin Baylor graduate. And Robert, what made Coach Munn the right fit for this job?
Well, I think Coach Munn is well respected around the state just for his defensive strategies, but more than anything, he understands what Carroll football is about. He spent the last 8 seasons helping build and protect the program standard. So while the title is new, the expectations, the culture, the community are not. He's earned the respect of players and coaches. He knows how to develop young men. This program didn't need someone to come in and reinvent its identity. It needed someone who could honor the tradition, bring his own leadership style, and move it forward. Lee Munn is the right man at the right time to do exactly that. And plus, Chris, he's the only head coach the Dragons interviewed that was actually 1-0 as a Dragons head coach.
See there, 1-0, won a playoff game on January 9th, 2021. Well, our pregame show once again this year brought to you by Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. And when we come back, we'll take a look at some of the top returners on this year's Dragon team as we count you down to kickoff between Carroll and Jenks on the Dragon Sports Network. We continue from the historic Cotton Bowl in Fair Park. Carroll and Jenks getting set to get started in the 2026 season opener. And for the Dragons, we've got a lot of new faces to introduce you to as we begin a new season, including a new quarterback. Junior Hudson Tomczyk will take the reins of the offense this year, stepping into the spotlight that comes with being the Carroll quarterback. But he'll have some returning help on the offensive side of the ball. 4 of the starting linemen played significant snaps last season, and 2 of the Dragons' top 3 pass catchers from a year ago are back. We'll start with Blake Gunter, Robert, who finished second on the team with 66 catches a season ago.
Well, Chris, Blake Gunter is exactly the kind of player you want alongside a first-year starting quarterback. Those 66 receptions tell you he's dependable, understands how to get open, and can consistently move the change. He brings experience, confidence, and production to an offense introducing several new faces. Hudson won't have to force the ball every snap. He has a proven target who can create separation and give him an easy answer if pressure comes. I expect Gunter to be more than just a productive receiver this year, Chris. He'll be one of the leaders Hudson can lean on as he settles into the most visible position in Southlake.
Gunter last season, 59 catches, over 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns. He's committed to Cal as we take a look at some of his highlights from a season ago. The game-breaking speed, and he can be used kind of all over the field. He's going to start him out wide this year, but surely we'll see him in different positions, lined up in the slot, sometimes in the backfield, all over the place.
Well, I think it says it all right there, the Swiss Army knife here. You know, he's a player. If you wanted your kid to grow up to be like somebody, you want to be a Blake Gunter. He's a hard worker. He is very selfless. He sacrifices for his team. Even from a sophomore year, Chris, we can remember him just sacrificing his body, doing what Coach told him to do, and he is a tremendous player. Young man's going to Cal.
The other big weapon coming back for the Dragons on the outside is going to be Brody Knowles, and he's the guy that Tomczyk can look to kind of take the top off the defense, right?
Yeah, I mean, at 6'5", he gives Tomczyk a huge target downfield. He has the size and he has the catch radius to get up over defenders, win those contested throws, and make the quarterback right, even if the ball isn't perfectly placed. Combine that with the frame, with his ability to stretch the field, he becomes difficult to match up. Smaller defensive backs may struggle with his size, while safeties have to respect his ability to get behind them. He's not someone you can take the top off of the defense. He is someone you can take off the top of the defense. He can go up and take the football away.
Last year, 40 catches, nearly 900 yards, and 7 touchdowns for Knowles. Now, those are just a couple of the skill position players that Tomczyk will have at his disposal. We've talked to Coach Munn this preseason, and he is excited about the depth they have both at receiver and at running back. So a look at what Carroll has on the offensive side, and we'll introduce you to a whole new group of defenders as well as we get going here in the starting lineups. But first, let's go ahead and hear from the new head coach. My conversation with Lee Munn coming up next as we continue on the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show on the Dragon Sports Network. Welcome back to the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show as we get set for the season opener between Carroll and Jenks from the Cotton Bowl. Chris Blake joined by new Dragons head coach Lee Munn. And Coach, a couple of scrimmages in the books, fall camp's over with. What have you learned about your group over the last few weeks?
I think we learned that they're excited to play football again. I think that's one of the big things, not doing spring football. Obviously do skills and stuff, but like actually putting on pads. So you just find out that, you got a group of guys that love the game of football, which is exciting. And we're kind of excited about the trajectory that the team is on.
Now, you've got a lot of new starters, specifically on the defensive side. How has that group kind of taken shape? And I'm sure you have a hand in molding that a little bit with having coached those guys as the defensive coordinator over the last 2 or 3 years or whatever year they are that they've been in high school.
Yeah. They've done a great job, honestly. I think there's a little bit of an underdog mentality on that side of the football, that, the offense has kind of all the star power returning. There's a lot of guys that are new to the defensive side of the ball. So what I've seen from, the kids and the coaches is just kind of that hunger to prove that they can do it. And the leadership between Landon Harris and Kyle Duras has really stood out. And we're excited about, really just how fast they're playing right now. They look, really good, communicating, everybody being on the same page, and then just getting effort to the football.
On the offensive side, you mentioned a lot of returners coming back there, particularly up front. You have a lot of linemen who have played several starts at the varsity level. How can having an experienced front kind of help everybody slow things down a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be big for every game we're in. They're kind of the tone setters. I think it just makes you feel better about it doesn't, whatever we get up front, 3 down, 4 down, a team that wants to twist a lot, a team that wants to pressure, you feel good about those 5 guys picking it up, which kind of permeates to the quarterback now feels more comfortable in the pocket, which will allow him to have more time to get throws off to the receivers. And so I think for us, everything starts with those 5 guys up front. And it just, I think it's more of a confidence thing, for the skill players that they know, like those five guys are going to kind of set the tempo every day.
You mentioned the quarterback being comfortable, and yes, football is a team sport, but all eyes always go to that position, quote unquote, under center, some of the time for you guys. So what does Hudson Tomczyk bring to the table, and what can we expect to see from him this season?
I think he brings a competitive nature, which is something you got to have at the quarterback position. So I think it starts there. Is he's very competitive, but then from a physical standpoint, he's very accurate with the football. Can make all the throws on the field, and then he's very athletic. So he's really fast, and so he can get us out of some bad situations with his legs, which is. As we know, we've seen the game progress. Like, if you have a quarterback that can run, it really puts a lot of stress on the defense. And so those are things that he does really well.
You've talked a little bit about leading into the season, some of these returning starters helping players, whether they're underclassmen or upperclassmen, whether they've started a game or not, helping them learn how to prepare game week. So what have you seen so far this week out of your returning starters as they help the newer starters along?
Yeah, I think it's just a maturity, showing up early to meetings with notebook in hand and attentive and paying attention. And our guys that have played a lot of football, when I'm walking through meetings, they're paying attention to what the coach is saying, and they're actively taking notes. And I think that sends a message to the younger guys. They're like, oh, okay, well, if Tristan, Darren, Luke Wilson are 2-year starters, about to be a 3-year starter, and they're still taking notes in meetings, then it's probably pretty important to write stuff down in meetings and not just sit there and stare at the screen. And then there's also been times where, at lunchtime, Brody and Blake having Dez Bryant on the board and going through plays and things like that that I've seen that gives you confidence for a game.
I want to ask you a couple of questions about you now, since it is your first game. But zooming out a little bit, big picture, since you were named head coach in the spring, how have you kind of shifted your focus from defensive coordinator to overseeing a whole program?
I think it's more of just understanding my role is kind of casting the vision for the program. And I have to do that not just for the players, but also the coaches. So a lot of what I'm doing now is, coaching coaches on what the expectations are and what the messaging needs to be to the kids. And then obviously you get to have the ultimate say in what the messaging is for the kids. But I think that's the biggest thing is you get to kind of create the vision and set the expectations kind of the way you want it to be. And that's been really cool.
And finally, what will it mean for you tonight when you're staying on the sideline for the anthem, about to coach your first game as the official head coach? You had one interim tag under your belt, but leading a program into the opening week of the season, will you take a moment to kind of soak it in before kickoff? Yeah,
I definitely will. I think, when I was going through the interview process, a pretty cool story is, we're 3 or 4 weeks into the whole interview process, and we're trying to figure out who's going to get the job. And my dad told me that he went to a Southlake Carroll Dangerfield football game at Cowboy Stadium in 1988. And he said, I was there with him. I was 1 year old. So he said, your first ever football game was a Southlake Carroll football game. And I thought that was pretty cool. So just kind of full circle moment. I think we'll kind of hit me maybe on Thursday of like, that I'm actually the guy in charge now. So, but I think that story is pretty cool.
That's a good story, and get to see it come back to full circle tonight. And Coach, thanks for the time, and good luck tonight.
All righty, thank you.
Dragons head coach Lee Munn before Carroll opens the season against Jenks. More on the pregame show coming up after this on the Dragons Sports Network.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building, attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
We are set for week 1 of the high school football season as Southlake Carroll gets set to take on the Jenks Trojans out of the Tulsa area. Hi there, everybody. Chris Blake alongside Robert Clayton, our statistician tonight, Monty Clegg, and our director, Tim Polster, as we get a look at the Carroll starting lineups for this one as the Dragons have taken the field. Jenks about to do the same from their side, but the Dragons starting lineup up front, a couple of returning starters on the offensive line. Luke Wilson, Tristan Dare shifting over from right tackle to center, joining Will Barley, Clayton Johnson, and Ty McCurry up front.
The big hogs, Chris. I love that graphic.
The skill position players for the Dragons, receiver group, Brody Knowles and Blake Gunter, we told you about. We also got newcomers, Des Bryant Jr., Thomas Joyner, and Easton Need joining the mix. And in the backfield for Carroll, we'll see a new quarterback in junior Hudson Tomchek. Senior running back Brooks Biggers returns to the starting role alongside him. Defensively for the Dragons, up front, Dragons feel like they have a lot of depth here.
They do. This is the first time in a long time this Dragon front four, they can go too deep. I think that's going to play a major factor tonight with the Heat being able to roll those players in and out, Chris.
Linebacking group, Ace Slavin and Landon Harris will take up those spots for the Dragons. We expect to see some depth there as well. And then in the defensive backfield, the 3 safeties, Ty Moody, Cole Spaeth, and Trent Fergal, with the corners, Joyner and Bennett Hunt. So the coin toss tonight, sponsored by the Baker firm, Fidelity National Title. If you need title work, call Julie Walter. The Dragons won the toss and deferred to the second half, so Jenks will have the ball first. Will throw on first down, taking a shot, looking end zone, Knowles, touchdown Dragon. Looking for Boyd inside the 5 and into the end zone for 6. And welcome back inside the Cotton Bowl as state-ranked 8th Carroll takes on Jenks tonight. The two teams are out of the tunnels. Jenks taking a knee down in the end zone as we get set for the national anthem tonight. Carroll is the visiting team this evening. Jenks will be the home team. The Trojans on the near sideline from our vantage point. Dragons on the far sideline from where we are. as the Lee Munn era gets ready to get started here for the Dragons. As we get set for the national anthem here coming up in just a moment. These two teams getting an opportunity to play at what is a historic venue in college football and the NFL going way back. Now hosts high school games early in the season in particular, and these two teams getting the season kicked off tonight.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
We are ready for kickoff between Carroll and Jenks as we welcome you back to the historic Cotton Bowl, which opened in 1930. Of course, still hosts Texas OU every year as you see the Carroll kickoff unit getting ready to get started out on the field. Let's go ahead and take a look at Robert's keys to the game here ahead of the matchup between the Dragons and the Trojans.
Yeah, I think, the first thing, what I'm always going to say every game is win the line of scrimmage, especially mentally. Going against this Jenks team, they run in multiple fronts. They start out in a 3-4, 4-2-5. They like to do a lot of twisting and stemming. You got to be alert. You've got to find Dillard, number 5 for Jenks. He's an all-world receiver and safety. He's going to Florida. Make sure you find him, and you got to wear him out. He's going to be having a lot of snaps tonight. Then I think number 3 is start fast. Be bigger than this atmosphere in the Cotton Bowl. Be ready to play. Jump out fast and do not stop.
Keys to the game brought to you by Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. Thinking about buying or selling your Southlake home? Meet Robert Clayton and Karen Clayton Young with Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. Well, Dillard, one of 2 returners, back alongside C.J. Wright for the Trojans. Kyle Vidal, the junior kicker, puts the foot into it, and we are underway in 2026. They kick it towards Wright, and he fields it in the end zone. Looked like he thought about taking it out, but ultimately takes a knee. And it will be the returning starter at quarterback for the Trojans, Landon Kazar, leading him out onto the field.
And Chris, Landon's he's very calm under pressure, per the Jenks head coach. And I'll tell you what, he threw for over 3,000 yards last year, almost 24 TDs, and only 4 interceptions. Very efficient. He's very accurate. He's led up front by a pretty good offensive line. You're talking about guys who are committed to Oklahoma State. You have a Jamison Mobley at right tackle, who is a phenom. He started as a freshman last year for Jenks.
So Jenks comes out in a bunch set, 3 receivers in tight to the left. Now they're going to spread it out a little bit and move Dillard into the backfield alongside Kazar. Now Dillard motions out. They're going to get it to him in the flat. Has a block from the outside, gets across the 30, brought down shy of the 35-yard line, or gain of about 10 yards on the catch and run from Dillard.
They're going to run this tempo. They're going to move Dillard around this offense formation. They're going to feed him the ball, a little pop pass to start.
Now he's in the slot. They hand it off, going opposite direction, weak side, breaking a couple tackles and bouncing it across midfield is the running back C.J. Wright. Fired up after the carry.
Coach Gaylor said C.J. Wright is the most electrifying back they have. He can break it at any moment. And he's actually a transfer this year, Chris. We'll talk a little bit more about that later here in the game.
On first down, they go deep over the middle, looking for Dillard. A little contact, no flag. In coverage there for the Dragons.
Good protection up front by Jenks. And if you let Landon Kizar sit in the pocket, he's going to hit these timing slants, especially to Dillard. That's what they're known for. It's a timing type offense. So Dragons have got to get pressure on that front four.
Cole Spaeth in coverage there. So 2nd and 10, ball at the 46-yard line of the Dragons. They move a couple of big bodies over to the left side of the line. And the pitch out to right. Gets a hole off a right guard and is slung down shy of the 40-yard line at about the 42.
You mentioned that motion, Chris. You'll see that from time to time. They're all-world tight end, Braxton Daniel. He's number 9. He goes 6'5", 230. He is committed to Utah. He is one heck of a player.
3rd down, running with it, breaking a couple of tackles, staying on his feet across the 30-yard line is right again, and he's finally upended after he crosses the 25 down to the 24. They're feeding C.J. Wright here early and often.
They're getting him the ball, and I'll tell you what, Coach Geller said he can move in space, and he is a terrific back so far, what he's showing. Now you see Kyron Scott come in. He's more of this bigger back, this power back once they get into the red zone.
So it's a new set of downs for the Trojans at the Dragon 24. 3 players moving in motion to the left side of the set. Kazar now brings one across from left to right. Handoff. Up the middle goes Kyron Scott. Oh no, they flung it out to the side. That's Braxton Daniel, the tight end. I bid on the play fake too.
Yeah, it was a great play fake by Landon, number 7. You know, you're getting Braxton Daniel there out in the flats, and he is a terrific receiver, and he's such a big body, Chris. You know, he can move well in space, and I tell you what, when they get to the end zone or in the red zone, they pick his number, 6 TDs last year.
Short pass again out near sideline, and it's enough for a first down. Caught catch and run there for the Trojans by Cade Klein.
You can see this offense. It is hurry up. It is a tempo type offense. You know, they're getting a little bit of substitutions in right now for this Carroll defense, but this is what Coach Gaylor wants to do. He wants to keep the defense on their toes.
2 receivers left. Tight end each side of the formation. And again, still the big back in the backfield. They feed him again. Puts his head down inside the 5. Brought down just shy of the goal line is Kyron Scott, the junior. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1.
This Jenks offense, they love pulling their offensive linemen, and you're going to see a lot of buck sweeps, a lot of CY counter.
And on 1st and goal, they punch it in. Jenks gets on the board first. An efficient opening drive of the year for them, as it is Scott, the junior, finding the end zone for the opening score.
Big Kyron Scott, I tell you what, he goes 5'10", almost 230. He packs a little bit of punch behind him when he runs and hits it right between guard and tackle for the touchdown.
The kicker for the Trojans is senior Owen Mahan. He'll be out of the hold of Clark Carricker. The long snapper, one of the best in the country, committed to Tennessee. The kick is up, and it is good. So Jenks strikes first with 9:29 to go in the first quarter. It's Jenks 7, Carroll nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Jenks, a pooch kick that is going to land out of bounds along the Carroll sideline, so it'll be a penalty to get the year started for the Jenks special teams group after they scored on a 9-play, 75-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 31 seconds to open the game. So now we'll see what Carroll can do to answer, and we'll get our first look at Hudson Tomczyk as the quarterback. A couple of returners on the offensive side, especially up front, try to get this thing settled down a little bit and let the Carroll offense get moving.
Yeah, if I'm Hudson Tomczyk here, I know you got the nerves starting here your first game, but you have a veteran group up front, headlined by Luke Wilson and Tristan Dare and Clayton Johnson, Will Barley, and Ty McCurry. They played a lot of snaps. Ty's the new starter this year at right tackle. They slid Tristan from right tackle to center, which could most likely play in college, the Missouri commit. You know, I think with anything to settle down this offense, you've got to take a little bit of design plays here. Don't make it, too much. Don't make too many reads. Get Hudson out there, get a little bit of contact, and go through and get hit a little bit. But stay behind that offensive line. That's the bread and butter here.
So Carroll's actually going to opt for a re-kick here instead of taking the yardage on the penalty. They want to get the ball into the hands of either Thomas Joyner or Des Bryant Jr. What do we call Thomas Joyner?
We call him Slicey.
So those are the two guys back standing around the 10-yard line to receive the re-kick from Jenks. It'll be Mahan again putting the foot into it. And a little squib going to be fielded on a couple of hops at the 15-yard line. Coming right to left with it is Bryant. Gets a block from Slicey out wide and hit from behind as he approaches the 40-yard line, but a good return from Des Bryant Jr. on his first varsity touch for the Dragons.
Yeah, those two guys there in the back all returning kicks, Des Bryant Jr. and Slicey Joyner. You're going to hear their names a lot this year. They're newcomers to this Dragon offense, but they are explosive, Chris.
You couldn't have guessed Des Bryant Jr. is the son of former Dallas Cowboy Des Bryant. We expect to see him lined up in the slot quite a bit with this starting offense. So it'll be Tomczyk leading the group onto the field. Brooks Biggers is back at running back. He gained 336 yards last year and scored 13 touchdowns. So they come out with 3 receivers to the right against the Jenks front that is pretty spread out. So Tomczyk will hand to Biggers on first down. He's hit and dropped in the backfield by Case Easter, getting in there and making the stop.
You're going to see that this front is so active. They base out a 4-2-5 there on the first play, but they're going to be bringing blitzes. They're going to be slanting the defensive linemen. They're also going to be twisting. They're going to try to keep this offensive line off their assignments.
So 4 receivers set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. A motion Biggers out of the backfield, empty set for Tomczyk. Behind the sticks, 2nd and 12. And there is motion early. False start on the Dragons. So it backs him up 5 more. It'll be 2nd and 17 coming up here for Carroll. And this is a Jenks team that has a lot of guys that are going to play on both sides of the ball. They motion Biggers out of the backfield again. Tom check. Couple steps back. Fires right side, complete to Bryant, but he's hit immediately and stopped. Short gain of a few yards. It'll be 3rd and long.
There's a little pass and catch between Tom Check and Bryant Jr., but, you you talk about that. They have 8 returners on offense and 8 returners on defense, Chris, this Jenks team. Most of them are the same players.
And they show blitz here. Only a few guys off the line defensively for Jenks. Carroll looking to the sideline. Jenks, Pierce Brand, the senior linebacker who Coach Gaylor described as the heart and soul of the defense, making the play call on the field for the Trojans. Play clock ticking down. And there's movement again. It's going to be another false start. And the Jenks side starting to make some noise. There's a good Carroll crowd. So 3rd and very long for the Dragons. They've got to get to their own 49-yard line for a first down. It's 3rd and 19. 3 receivers to the left. Again, Trojans showing some pressure. They back it off. Tomchek spinning away from Dillard. He's got him by the jersey. Tomchek trying to escape, can't do it, and he's brought down at about the 16-yard line. They sent Caleb Dillard on a blitz, and the Florida commit got home.
You bring too many, you can block, and I tell you what, that's what Caleb Dillard does. Little do you know, he had 80 tackles last year, the Florida commit. He's almost a better defensive player than he is an offensive player. Getting him off the edge, it's going to be very difficult to block. Great play by Dillard.
So the Dragons will punt on 4th and very long. New punter, junior Tyler Cooper, standing back at the Carroll 2-yard line. We'll kick this one away to Cade Klein. Big booming kick, fair catch called for as it backs him up to the 31-yard line. What a blast by Cooper. And talk about being able to flip the field. Junior showing off the leg.
You don't see that a lot in high school football, but that's somewhere that Carroll's always excelled in, right?
Kicking
We're talking
game.
about kicking game. They do an incredible job. I feel it's just, we call this a QBU here, but, maybe it's just a kicker U.
I mean, you look at the kickers that have come through and the programs they've gone on to. It's major D1 programs, pretty much everybody that comes through.
Yeah.
Gavin Strange off to Duke. Is that right? Last year's kicker.
Yep.
A heavy package here for the Trojans on their second possession of the game. They flip it out to the right side, weaving through traffic is the running back for a gain of about 4.
This Jenks team, they're not going to do anything crazy. They're going to stick to the formula. They're going to go tackle over zone. They're going to go buck sweep, just like what we saw right there. And they're going to put in some GY counter, and they even pull the center at times. They love to run the ball.
They keep it on the ground again, and this is right. Big hole up the middle. He could go all the way across the 30, being chased by Joyner. He's not going to get there, and CJ Wright takes it all the way to the house for the touchdown.
Finding the spot to the guard and tackle. And I'll tell you what, getting behind the big offensive line, number 79, Ororu, he is committed to Oklahoma State, just flipped his commitment from Arkansas to Oklahoma State. And CJ Wright, I tell you what, the transfer, when he hits that second level, he is gone, and he's showing why he's going to be so important to this Jenks team tonight.
So a 67-yard touchdown run for the junior running back makes it 13-0 on just the second play of the drive for the Trojans. Now Mahan on for the extra point. It is up, and it was deflected by the Dragons, so that's no good. Carroll gets a block on the PAT. And with 5:55 to go in the first quarter, our score is Jenks 13, Carroll 0 on the Dragons Sports Network.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whitechapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
Another short kick for the Trojans. This one hits at the 17-yard line. Bryant grabs it and just falls forward across the 20. And Carroll will get its second offensive possession here, trailing 13-0. After a couple of touchdowns scored by the Trojans.
If you're this Carroll offense, you gotta slow it down a little bit, get back to their bread and butter. They're an inside zone team, lean on this offensive line. That first series hit a few penalties, got them back behind the chains. They had to play catch up. You don't want to do that against this veteran Jenks team. Get the ball on the ground, get some clock going, set up on manageable second and third downs.
So the 67-yard touchdown run by Wright, the second score of the game for Jenks. And now Carroll back on the field offensively. Little pop sweep coming around the end to Gunter. Gunter across the 25-yard line. Stumbles forward to the 25. They'll give him a gain of 6.
That's one thing Coach Munn mentioned, that he's going to get Blake Gunter involved. He saw him a little jet sweep there. They're going to move Gunter in and out of the backfield at times tonight. They want to get him the ball. He's such an explosive player.
How important is it after that first series to get the ball into the hands of a Blake Gunter, a Brody Knowles, a couple of guys with more experience?
Go to your playmakers. You know, they've been in the system for a while. You know, they're dependable. Get them the ball.
Second down, they've looked to flip it out on the right side. It falls incomplete. They were looking to get Knowles his first touch, but thrown a little bit too high.
A little high on Tom Jackson. A ball, you know, that's set up for those Southlake receivers, those little pop passes. You know, really an extension of the run game for this offense and attacking the perimeter.
A big third down here for the Dragons, just to give their defense a little bit more of a breather. They need 3. Biggers back into the game at running back. Design run. Flag flies. Tomczak's going to have the first down at the 30, but there is a flag down that flew right as the ball was snapped. Our referee tonight, Jim Davis. Carroll called for an illegal formation. It'll be 3rd and 8. Just about 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Again, Jenks showing pressure. I've seen them do this when Carroll's on 3rd and long. Play fake to Biggers. Tomczak takes a quick drop. Throws one up for Gunter. It's broken up. Had a step, but the defender caught up on the back end and it falls incomplete. In coverage there for the Trojans was the junior Cam Clinton.
Jenks is doing exactly what they want to do. They want to get in long 3rd down situations with this Carroll offense. They're going to bring pressure. That's the name of their game. And they've 2 possessions of Carroll. They'll be able to get them behind the chains and get some pressure on them, getting a 4th down.
Cooper's first punt was a good one for the Dragons. They'll need another good one from him here. Cade Klein fair caught the first one. Dragons took too long running an 11th player onto the field, and that'll back them up 5 yards.
We're starting to see some of these first game of the season jitters that you typically are trying to work out. You're seeing, the offside penalties, a delay of games, illegal formation, things that will get cleaned up.
So Cooper barely gets this one away, not nearly as long as the first one. Fair caught again at the 45-yard line of the Trojans by Klein. And now this Dragons defense try to find an answer against the Trojan offense.
They've got to slow down this Jenks offense. They're running back by committee, led by C.J. Wright, and he's having a stellar night tonight. This offensive line, I tell you what, when you watch them on film, they are a very big group, but they're athletic. They can get out and run. They can create those openings, and I'll tell you what, you complement that with Landon, the quarterback there in the backfield. They've got a pretty potent offense, Chris.
They go empty backfield here. Now move a couple of guys in motion. Wright will come alongside to Kazar's left. Slot receiver goes in motion. They hand it to Wright, and this time the Dragons do get there. Big hit made on the back end by Ace Slavin.
It's a great job by the Dragon defense. They got some penetration there. They're going to have to do that with this type of offense. You're going to have to crash the pullers. You're going to have to play over top. Tremendous job by Ace Slavin there making the play. And they've got to keep doing that. They've got to slow this offense down.
So loss of a yard on the play. Send a receiver in motion. That's Jalen Cato, right to left. Handoff. Or fake the handoff to Wright again, thrown over the middle, falls incomplete. Looking for Clinton. Again, we talk about these guys playing both ways. Clinton starting quarterback, also there in the slot.
Clinton's one of the better corners on the team, a dynamic athlete, and again, another two-way player. If you get Landon out there running like that, throwing across the body, it's not always the easiest throw for anyone at any level. But you've got to get him to move. If you allow him to stay back in the pocket, he will pick you apart.
3rd and 11. Yard to gain is the Dragon 45. Kazar hit it in the backfield as he let it go, and it was complete shy of the first down marker, but a big hit delivered there for the Dragons.
Huge hit by Duras. I tell you what, he came around on a stunt and got in the guard's hip and laid eyes on Landon Kazar, and I'll tell you what a great job on the pursuit of the quarterback.
So Duras able to get there, ball caught, and they're going to go for it here on 4th down, just inside of plus territory.
Chris, what's your meter say?
Confidence?
What's your analytics say on this?
Dragons got to stop. Big hole up the middle. And this is going to go into the end zone for a touchdown for the Trojans. Caleb Dillard was lined up in the backfield. They got it to him on the handoff, and he takes it all the way to the house for the touchdown. 2nd home run play that this Jenks offense has been able to hit.
You're just getting behind the big offensive tackle there for Jenks. He's creating a hole, and a little bit of the back end of the Dragons got caught in traffic, and then it's just the house. I tell you what, this Jenks team came ready to play.
Clark Carricker on the carry, not Dillard, and they're moving their skill guys around all over the place, are the Trojans, as Mahan comes on for the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, and this one is good. So with just over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, the score is now Jenks 20, Carroll nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
You can trust your medical care at Southlake Dermatology. We have over 65 years of experience between Dr. Bowers, Dr. Tynard, and our 4 physician assistants. We treat a wide range of medical, surgical, and cosmetic concerns ranging from skin cancer, hair loss, rashes, increased sweating, and anti-aging. There are multiple new options for hair loss, such as Nutrafol supplements and PRP injections. View our services online at southlakedermatology.com.
A 4-play, 55-yard drive that took about 90 seconds off the clock gives Jenks a 20-0 lead as Des Bryant Jr. again on the return, trying to find some space and get around the edge, gets to the 30 and steps out of bounds along the Jenks sidelines. But Robert, this is a Jenks team that clearly came ready to go tonight. What have they been doing offensively that has made it difficult for this Carroll defense?
Well, I think they're just doing what they're keeping it simple. You know, they get behind this offensive line, the veteran group, and they're running their GY counters, they're running their buck sweeps, they're getting behind these guys, and I tell you what, you know, when they make contact, they're sustaining contact, Chris, and it's almost like the little things, doing the little things really, really well tonight.
So the Carroll offense, a little bit better second series. See if they can take a step forward here on their third series of the night as Tomczyk takes the snap, has time, looking deep down the right sideline. This one is caught, hauled in along the sideline by Blake Gunter. Gunter saying, let's move.
Great protection up front. He had all day to throw, and that's what Tomczyk is going to need. It gives him confidence to move the ball down the field. Great job on delivering a strike to Blake Gunter on the right side.
Our replays this year brought to you by CLC Roofing. If your roof is bad, call Chad. 24-yard reception by Gunter as they give it to Biggers on first down. Bounces it outside, tripped up along the Dragons sideline, picked up a few yards before he was pushed out of bounds.
So one thing you get from Biggers is the guy has been offered by Colorado and Texas State. He's a dynamic runner. He's a one-cut guy, and he does that inside zone so well. If you saw there, he made that cut immediately on the outside and picks up an extra few yards, but put it in a good second and manageable.
Second and about 7. They motion receiver right to left. That's Bryant. Tomczyk is going to tuck it and run, trying to get it outside across the 40. Nice open field tackle there for Jenks to stop him after a short gain. Stop made by Nashua Charleston.
It's something I thought we might see a little bit more for Hudson. You know, he's the second fastest player on this Carroll Dragon team. Maybe some more designed runs. Get him out there and running, get behind this offensive line. But it looks like on this series, Chris, they're settling down just a little bit.
3rd and 5. Joyner into the game, slot right, alongside Gunter. Easton Need plays going to see kind of a tight end H-back type role, is in the slot on the left for Carroll. They bring Joyner in motion, fake it to him, or do flip it to him. He's trying to bounce it outside, nowhere to go. Jenks defenders everywhere in the backfield, so nowhere for Joyner to go, and it's going to be a loss on the play, 4th down.
Great hit by Henderson and staying home, and this isn't easy. You know, Slicey has a lot of speed there on the edge. He stays home, makes a terrific play on Joyner. I tell you what, you know, this Jenks defense, you know, they're bending but not breaking. Great job. They're playing excellent football tonight.
Dragons will punt it away here from the Jenks 44. See if Cooper can pin him inside the 20. High end-over-end kick, fair caught at about the 19 or 14-yard line by Klein, and that is where Jenks will take over. So the Dragons trailing here 20-0 with just over a minute to go in the first quarter.
Of course, we talked about Jenks being ready to play. It's something that Coach Gaylor did. He brought the team actually down from Oklahoma on Wednesday night. They stayed, watched film, got up morning, ate breakfast. He treated it like, you know, you're in college, a Division I program. He took some measures to make sure the guys were rested. They weren't on a long bus ride. And it was something he felt that was in pay dividends in this game tonight.
Had a walk through this morning at UNT. So an opportunity to go check out another facility while they're here as well. Kazar looking to throw, play fake over the top, looking for Wright, overthrew him. Wright had a step, Landon Harris in coverage. That one falls incomplete.
Great penetration by the Dragon defensive line. And we talked about the depth of this Dragon defensive line. You know, I thought it was going to be one of the big factors tonight is being able to roll this front four through. It's one of the few times, you know, they've had the depth there at defensive line on just not only the ones but the twos. And it's something the Dragon D-line's going to have to do. It's going to get on their shoulders. They're going to have to get off these blocks and get in the backfield.
Jenks trying to spread these defensive backs out as much as they can. Wide splits for the receivers as they give it to Wright up the gut. Nothing there on second down. It'll be 3rd and long.
Good play by Sam Erickson staying home and really running the heel line there and getting the running back coming from the right defensive end area. I tell you what, Sam Erickson is a guy that showed up a lot last year as a sophomore in this Dragon defense, and he's our veteran. You know, Coach Munn is leaning on this year.
3rd and 8. Dragons trying to get a stop with 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Empty backfield here for Jenks. Carroll has some pressure off the edge. It's thrown over the middle. Caught by Dillard. Makes a defender miss across the 35, past the 40. And a first down to the 41-yard line for the Florida commit.
That's what's tough with this Jenks offense. You can stop the run, but then you'll get Dillard there on the slant. He's such a dynamic player. You know, he can make one move and get another 10 to 15 yards. He's a special player.
Jenks moving quickly here. The official holding up the snap. 3 receivers split outside the numbers as they give it to Wright up the middle, who runs right into Trent Fergal, who makes the stop. What does it do by having these wide splits to open things up in the middle?
Well, you widen the splits, but you see the formation. They're getting guys out of the box. They're trying to get guys in there to establish a run game. And they're playing numbers, Chris.
Yeah. CLC Roofing replay here on that run brings us to the end of the first quarter. Jenks coming out and delivering the first blow with 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. The Trojans lead it 20-0 after 1. Second quarter coming up next on the Dragon Sports Network.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
For over 40 years, Sumner Law has delivered results for our clients. From Fortune 150 companies to family mom and pop businesses to individuals in high-stakes legal matters, including business litigation, employment law, catastrophic personal injury, wrongful death, and criminal defense. At Sumner Law, exceptional results are the standard, and we are now proud to be a part of the Southlake community. Sumner Law, legendary results since 1986. Let's go, Dragons.
Quarter number 2 at the Cotton Bowl on tap as Carroll looking for answers here early against Jenks. Chris Blake alongside Robert Clayton and statistician Monty Clegg at the Cotton Bowl on a warm August opening night. Temperature
very warm
at 92. High today was 101. Game was moved back half an hour due to the heat.
We had these windows here in the box, and Chris thought it was funny to open them up and make it at about 110 in here and get Big Rob sweating a little bit before the game.
And just want to keep you warm.
Hey, any workout's a good workout.
So the Dragons had Jenks pinned back on a 3rd and long, but a completion over the middle to Caleb Dillard got him close to midfield. And now as we switch sides, ball at the 48-yard line of the Trojans. Kazar hands to Wright, running patiently. He's going to be hit and stopped just shy of the first down. Landon Harris in there on the stop. It'll be 3rd and inches. Looks like they're going to bring in a heavy package here. So Kyron Scott coming back into the game at running back. Clark Carricker will be the Wildcat quarterback. We saw him score earlier. He'll take the snap, hang on to the football, running off left guard, has the first down. So Carricker in these short yardage situations has been coming in at quarterback alongside Scott at running back.
Well, you're seeing a running back committee here. Last year they had a record setter, Casey Jones, who went out to Oklahoma State, a all-world running back here for Jenks, set several school records. And you're seeing they do this by committee now. Kyron Scott was his main backup last year, rushed for over 400, 500 yards, and he's not even the primary back this year. It's transfer C.J. Wright.
Kazar on first down gives to Dillard on a sweep. Dillard picking his way through the Carroll defense across the 40, down near the 35, 36-yard line. Dillard with the ball in his hands is real shifty in space.
It's not that he's even shifty, but he's got muscle. He's athletic. He has a little bit of power. He can do it all, and that's one thing that Coach Gaylor said. He's just such a dynamic player, and he can change the course of the game.
Dillard, Cam Clinton are split out to the right side of the set. Clinton coming in motion right to left. They fake the handoff. Kazar looking to throw under pressure. Avoids it. Now steps up and is going to be brought down in the backfield. Getting there on the blitz was Landon Harris.
Good pressure by Sam Erickson. Again, another name we're talking about. If you see Sam, he comes around here, he stays home. This is he's trying to get on a slant here and couldn't fulfill it. I tell you what, great job to get around the edge by Erickson, and then Landon Harris finishing it up.
Connor Rubin also in the mix, applying some pressure. But Harris, it's only been a quarter, but Harris has been in the middle of a lot of the stops for the Carroll defense already.
Oh, he's an incredible player. He's that guy who runs that Mike position for Coach Munn, and he is a very athletic, rangy player as well.
On third down, they hand it off up the middle. Wright is going to be stopped just shy of the first down. And we've seen him go forward on fourth down once tonight, and it looks like they're going to do it again. We see Carricker and Scott come back onto the field. Dragons making some substitutions to match here. We see Mapa Vainuku into the game at defensive tackle. Carricker behind the center gets the first down.
Headed right between the guard and tackle on the right side there. You gotta respect what Coach Gaylor's doing. He knows what he wants in every position, and he's taking advantage of it. Another conversion.
Jenks did not substitute. Carroll started to substitute and then tried to rush its players back onto the field, forcing Lee Munn to take his first timeout of the night. So we will take this break as well with 8:23 to go in the second quarter. It's Jenks 20 and Carroll nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Carroll uses its first timeout here after getting caught trying to sub a couple defensive players off the field. Jenks will see what they do offensively. They were set to leave their heavier set on the field. It looks like out of this break, Landon Kazar, the quarterback, will lead this group back out there. And Robert, what are some things on the defensive side that the Dragons could do to start to try to make Jenks a little more uncomfortable?
I think you got to get some movement up front. Either what Jenks does on the other side, you've got to do some stemming, some twisting. You got to do something to get out of the blocking lanes and change it up and make these linemen think a little bit, and you got to bring the pressure.
Daniel, the tight end, motions from right to left. Now they bring another receiver in motion. They keep it in the backfield, hand it to Scott, who keeps his feet, spins out of a tackle, and is brought down at the 25-yard line.
We talked about Scott. He was the primary backup last year, rushed for about 400 or 500 yards last year. He's someone that Coach Gaylor said, if I need about 3 to 4 yards, I'm giving it to him. He is a huge back.
Second and short. He'll get it again. Slips one tackle, is not going to split the second, and is slung to the ground there by the Dragons. A couple of defenders in on the play. So another third and short upcoming for the Trojans as we get a look at the CLC Roofing replay. Jenks taking its time here before this third down snap. From the Carroll 26. Quarterback design run. Lowering his head and picking up the first down is Carricker again. There's a good chance if he's in the game, he's keeping the ball.
He's such a dynamic player. He almost Tim Tebow-like in a sense. He puts his head down, gets forward, and he can fall forward for 3 to 4 yards.
This is him again inside the 15-yard line. Clark Carricker close to another first down. And this offensive line of the Trojans getting a big push up front. You've mentioned Aruru, the left tackle, Brennan Watkins, the left guard, Landon Webb at center, Zach McKenzie at right guard, and the sophomore Jamison Mobley at right tackle.
And all these guys are going to go play in the next level in some capacity.
Ball's loose on the turf. Carricker, that is Kazar back into the game, falls on it after the bad snap. Would have been a huge break for the Dragons if they could have fallen on that one, but Kazar showing that veteran poise. Didn't panic, just fell on the football.
But this is what this Dragon defense needs. They need to get this offense behind the chains. They need to force Landon Kazar, to really sit back in the pocket and get him to move out, flush him out, get some blitzes in, force him to make some type of error. Now they're switching over and bringing in Dillard at quarterback.
Yep. Now Kazar will go back. A lot of moving pieces here. And Jenks may have called a timeout before the ball was snapped. And a lot of guys moving all over the place.
There's a lot, Chris. There's a lot.
And Kazar wound up back in the shotgun. But as Jenks takes the timeout, we will as well. 5:56 to go before halftime. Jenks 20, Carroll nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
Jenks facing a 3rd and long, called its first timeout. They come out in an empty backfield here. 3rd and 11, Kazar. And whistles blow, and now Carroll taking a timeout before that ball was snapped. So let's take another break here as well. 5:54 to go before halftime. Dragons trail the Trojans 20-0 in the season opener on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
So each team calls a timeout before this big third down snap. Though you would imagine for Jenks potentially 4-down territory with the way we've seen
without a doubt,
Gaylor operate so far tonight. Empty backfield again for Kazar. Again, they're really opening up the middle of this Dragon defense by spreading everybody out. Now they bring CJ Wright back into the backfield. In motion goes Cato. Kazar looking to set up the receiver screen. They get it to Dillard inside to the 20-yard line where he's brought down. Well defended by the Dragons with a lot of moving parts. So it's 4th down. It looks like they are going to kick. Owen Mahan, kicker, makes his way out onto the field. From the right hash, now they come out of this, and they're going to go for it on 4th down. It's Brooks Carricker, the sophomore younger brother of Clark, who goes in at quarterback and now will jog off the field.
I know Coach Gaylor likes to change it up quite a bit, and he's formational a guy, but I tell you what, he's doing an awful lot, and you're seeing like a chess match here on just seeing what the defense, how it responds. A lot of formations tonight, Chris.
Let's squeeze in one more quick break before this play. Carroll trailing 20-0 on the Dragon Sports Network.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
Fourth and 9 for Jenks. Landon Kazar, the 3rd or 4th player we've seen line up at quarterback on this set of downs, is in the backfield here alongside Wright. He's got a man coming in motion. Dillard right to left. Big play here coming up for the Dragon defense. And flags fly here. And they got one of the offensive linemen. They got the center. Landon Webb called for the false start.
That's never good when you're in control of the ball, Chris.
No.
I hated it when that happened. There's no one else to blame.
Nope. Or the other good one, not good one, but the other amusing one is when it's a false start, everybody but the center, in which case probably the center may have had the snap count wrong. Anyway, now 4th and longer. They're still going for it. Kazar in the backfield with Wright. They send Daniel out to the left. Kazar has time. Looking to throw. Goes over the middle. Wide open inside the 10-yard line and into the end zone goes Jalen Cato. Found a soft spot in that Dragon defense. Made the catch and hit the Jets across the goal line.
Used Dillard as a decoy on the slant, and they came right underneath to Cato. He was wide open, and what an effort to make this into the end zone here. If you just watch it, you're going to see Dillard on the left-hand side of your screen. Dragon defense thinks they're going there. They hit it right under the middle to Cato.
And Dillard was the player along the right hash and took the safety with him. So the extra point try by Mahan is good. And with 5:07 to go in the second quarter, it is Jenks 27 and Carroll nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whitechapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
So Carroll gets the kickoff after another touchdown for the Trojans, and Des Bryant Jr. takes it up to the 25-yard line. Jenks scoring on a 17-play, 86-yard drive that took 7 minutes and 1 second. So we've seen him strike quickly. But that was an impressive drive that chewed up a lot of clock and went nearly the length of the field.
Yeah, incredible.
So now Carroll's offense will again head back out there against this Jenks defense. And it's a group that a lot of them are still playing both ways, but they have not shown any signs of slowing down on either side of the ball. So on first down, they'll keep it on the ground, giving it to Gavin Gooden, who gets his first touch of the season, gets outside to the left. Palmer Pensum into the game at quarterback as well now for Carroll.
A great block by Easton Need here on the edge, just springing Gooden out. And Gooden's a guy, he has that breakaway speed, and Coach Munn talks about it a lot. You give him the ball, he has a chance to go the distance anytime. And watch this perimeter block by Easton Need. Incredible job on just driving his man into the pylon.
Now they get it to Gunter, trying to find some room, has Gooden leading the way, and he's going to be stopped just at about the line, maybe a gain of a yard. It's going to be close, and they're going to give him a first down, picking up a yard. So Pensum and Gooden now in the backfield. We get a little bit of a different look here on this drive for the Dragons as they hold up the snap. Pensum, one of the varsity quarterbacks last year, came in late when the Dragons were running the ball for the most part, but completed 3 of 4 passes a season ago.
He's one that Coach Munn said, in that quarterback room, they probably have one of the best quarterback rooms in the state of Texas. Pensum's a very capable quarterback and really kind of a field general to this offense. He can navigate, get the ball down the field, and execute at a high level.
A couple of tight ends here. Cole Cunningham also into the game along with Easton Need. As Pensum takes the shotgun snap, gives to Gooden, and he is wrestled down immediately. Oh, they back the chains up to 3rd and short. Jenks thinks they got the stop, but the official's going to move the chains. It was Luke McAneely knifing in there to make the stop.
Great job by the Carroll offensive line. This was the need. Catch a break, get a first down, move the chains, settle down. Let's get this offense rolling.
Dragons trying to put points on the board here before halftime. They motion Gooden out to the left. Pensum with time and maybe a little miscommunication between quarterback receiver. He was under a little bit of pressure as we saw more stunting up front from the Trojans. So 2nd and 10 coming up after the incompletion. Dragons do get the ball first in the second half. Just want to make sure they don't let Jenks score again before halftime. Tight end to the left. Pensum looking to throw. Looking deep down the left sideline. One-on-one. He throws it up. It is hauled in. Caught by Brody Knowles. We talked about his ability to elevate and high point the ball. He did it there through some contact. for a big first down.
What a throw by Pinson. I told you, just laying up and letting the Illinois commit grab it, come down, jump up. That 6'5" frame, it is hard to stop.
Corner never got his head around. I don't think he saw the ball coming. Made the catch through the interference of Clinton. And the Dragons are into plus territory. Ball at the Jenks 42. Looking to throws, got Need open inside the 20-yard line. Need inside the 10, gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Easton Need with the first points of the year for the Dragons, and they're on the board at the Cotton Bowl.
Great pocket presence by Pinson. He knew the blitz was coming off the blind side. He stood in, delivered a strike to Easton Need, wide open, and great job by Easton Need. Just hauling the ball down, finding pay dirt, and getting the Dragons on the scoreboard.
Well, touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell, Luxury Real Estate. Extra points and field goal this year brought to you by the Dallas Renegades, as Kyle Vidal comes on for the point after try. Snap is down, kick up, and through. Mount up for the 2027 season. Place your season ticket deposits today for Dallas Renegades football. Well, Carroll's on the board. 3:45 to go before halftime. It's Jenks 27, Carroll 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Hey everyone.
Jenks going to take a knee in the end zone after the kickoff from the Dragons, and Carroll now will try to come up with a stop here with 3:45 to go before halftime and get the ball back to begin the third quarter. But the Dragons cover 75 yards in 7 plays, a minute 17 seconds, capped off with that 42-yard reception by Easton Need.
Because I think that'd be one of the first times we've seen in a while a Dragon tight end caught a touchdown.
That's a great point.
What a drive for Easton Need. Had a terrific block on the perimeter and getting the touchdown pass. Great job, young man.
I saw Jack Van Dorsler a few years ago, but then they moved him to defensive end as a senior. So empty backfield here for Kazar. They bring Wright in motion, flip it to him. Pressure in the backfield, avoids the first hit. White jersey still bouncing off of him, and he finally is brought down by the Dragons. Making that stop for Carroll was Cole Spaeth. We see the CLC roofing replay. And there is a Trojan player down, or a Carroll player down here.
I can't tell if that's Duras or not. Looks like he got leg whipped on the reverse of the play. Nice to see him get up and go.
seems to be walking off, jogging off just fine, so that's a good sign for the Dragons.
Team captain, like to see him up and going.
So Jenks picks up just a yard on that first down play. Kyron Scott, the junior running back, in the backfield with Kazar. Wright has gotten most of the work at running back tonight for the Trojans. And on second down, Kazar will throw, looking right side. It is short, had Dillard all alone, but kind of skipped it across the grass.
Yeah, he had Dillard on the comeback, just not enough arm across the field there to the other side. I tell you what, Dillard he's everywhere on this field tonight, and you've got to account for him.
I know these players are significantly younger and in better shape than we are, but I'm still impressed by the ability,
Chris.
By the
You're
ability
talking to a specimen.
By the ability to play on both sides, really without even taking a snap off. On third and long, Kazar over the middle, it's incomplete. Dillard didn't get his head around and the ball was underthrown.
Big stop by the Dragon defense. And I think you're seeing a little bit of limitations on Kazar's arm. You can see this arm strength just hasn't been there the last two throws, but great job by the Dragon defense. This is what this Dragon team need. They need to get a quick 3 and out and get the ball back at good field position and go punch it in the end zone.
Well, we were talking a second ago about Carroll just trying to keep it a 20-point game, getting the ball back. Now a chance to cut into the lead a little bit more before halftime. But before this punt, Lee Munn wants to take a timeout, maybe worry about a little bit of some trickery here before they punt it away. So we'll take the timeout as well. Timeouts tonight brought to you by the Feed Store Barbecue. With 3:05 to go before halftime, it's Jenks 27 and Carroll 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
.305 to go before halftime. Jenks getting ready to, we think, punt it away, but Lee Munn didn't want to take any chances, calling a timeout here before this special teams play. As we've seen Adam Gaylor make a couple of gutsy calls already. And Dragons just want to make sure they have all their bases covered here. Promised Johnson back to punt it away. Puts the foot into it. It's a short kick that's going to be fair caught by Blake Gunter. Just shy of midfield at the 46-yard line of the Dragons. So Carroll will have just 54 yards, a short field to go in 3 minutes to try to get points on the board before halftime.
Well, it's a crucial drive here. If you can capitalize on this opportunity, take it into halftime, get the ball back, you're sitting pretty. It's a brand new ball game. So it is key for this Dragon offense to execute here on a short field.
Tomczyk and Biggers back into the backfield. So we saw Pensum and Gooden on the last drive for Carroll. Tomczyk looking to throw, plenty of time. Lofts one down the right sideline. It is incomplete. Looking for Des Bryant Jr. Cam Clinton in coverage.
Great protection up front. Had all day to throw. Just a little in front of the Dragon receiver there. But part of me, says, hey, we haven't really tested this offensive line yet for this Dragon team. Let's get behind them. Let's get back to our bread and butter. Let's get the inside zone. Maybe throw a little bit of power game in there. Let's start churning out some yards.
It's been a trademark of the Dragon offense over the last few seasons. They look to the sideline for a new play. Play clock about to expire, and they didn't get it off. It's going to be a delay of game on Carroll. Well, just as Carroll starts to get a little bit of momentum, another self-inflicted wound here. We've seen a few false starts, not since the first drive of the game, but now a delay of game as well. So 2nd and long after the incompletion on first down. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Tomczyk looking to throw. Again, looking right side. This one is overthrown. Jenks coach also gets taken down along the sideline. Hope everything's okay over there as Blake Gunter went in to the Trojan bench area. It was incomplete.
Well, you can see they're trying to get Gunter the ball. They're trying to get him involved in any way possible. But again, Chris, I mean, you know, I know we're behind the chains here. We're going to have to get it vertical a little bit. So, you know, I would look to either get, you know, Slicey there out in the perimeter or get Knowles, get over the top on Knowles.
It's 3rd down. Jenks scrambling here. Now they have it settled down defensively. Tomczyk changing the play. Biggers to his right. Design run for the quarterback. Tomczyk looking for room. Gets out of an arm tackle, then is hit hard. A flag comes in near the stoppage. Maybe a hold against Carroll. Oh, they got a face mask against Jenks. There was the possibility it was a hold on the outside against the Dragons, but a Trojan defender got his hand up into Tomczyk's face mask.
To move the chains, automatic first down, moves the ball down the field inside the 50, within striking distance.
Dragons will take it. And even more importantly, keeps Jenks from getting the ball back in the short term. 2 receivers each side. Fake it to Gooden. Flick it out to the left side. This is caught by Bryant for a short gain of 6.
That was a great job by Hudson there. His first read wasn't there. He checked it down to Dez Bryant Jr. there on the left side. And again, 5-yard gain, 2nd and manageable.
Whistles blow again here. Someone took a timeout.
This is 2-minute timeout.
A 2-minute timeout, excuse us. We could have just looked at the clock. 1:55 to go before halftime. Carroll trying to add and cut into this lead a little bit. Trailing Jenks 27-7 with 1:56 before the break on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
So 2-minute timeout here in the second quarter. Carroll trailing Jenks 27-7. If you're joining us late, Jenks got out to a really fast start offensively, scoring on its first 3 offensive possessions. Carroll offense took a couple of possessions to get its feet under it, but Dragons offense has looked a lot more in control the last 2 times they've had the ball, trying to get into the end zone or at least get 3 out of this trip before halftime.
I think regardless, you've got to get some points out of here, and they've got the kicker with the leg.
Coach Munn told us
he has
Kyle
no problem.
Vidal, he trusts him from inside the 50.
Yeah.
Not inside 50 yards, I should say.
Yeah, he said his range, he's hit up to 55, 56.
On a free kick.
But feels his range is right about a 50-yard field goal.
Again, that's a luxury we talked about earlier. Dragons have had over the last several seasons, which you don't always get at the high school level. But first, they want to try to score a touchdown. Second down here, 5 yards to go. 2 receivers to the right, tight end to the right. Tomczyk rolling out right side, plants, throws, looking cross field. A lot of contact and flags fly everywhere. Was looking for Brody Knowles, and he got tied up there with Jizen Henderson, the junior cornerback. We got the whole defense moving one way, and then Tomczyk goes across the field.
It was a great little bootleg. He had Gavin Gooden there on the stretch as well, but again, going to Brody Knowles. I would go to Brody Knowles no matter what, 'cause he's so difficult to cover. It's a mismatch every time, and more often than not, he's going to win that mismatch, Chris.
He's got one catch tonight that was contested and was actually interfered with on that play as well, and was able to haul it in. First down from the 19. 3 receivers to the right. They stick with Gooden in the backfield here. And they'll give it to him. He's trying to get outside, use his hand to keep his balance, and is going to be forced out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. Leading the way on the stop was Nashua Charleston.
You've got to keep feeding it, though. You can't go away from the run yet. You got to keep feeding it. Hopefully the inside zone breaks on a cutback. You got to keep forcing it there. You have such a tremendously athletic offensive line. You get behind the big dogs.
So 2nd and 10. Gunter and Bryan on the right side of the set. Knowles alone on the left side with the tight end on the left side as well. Tomczyk will look to throw again. Looking end zone. Threw it up for Knowles right at the goal line. Did he get in? Or are they going to rule him down at the 1? It's a touchdown. Brody Knowles fights through a couple of more defenders to haul it in. And Carroll's starting to climb back into this one. It's 27-13.
Well, you're starting to go to your playmakers, and things are starting to click. And I tell you what, you get inside that 20, throw it up to Knowles, let him go get the ball. More than likely, over 2 defenders here. What a catch.
It's the height advantage to get up over both of those guys. 19-yard touchdown reception brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. Point After Tribe all season, sponsored by the Dallas Renegades. Mount up with your crew. Place your group deposit today. As Vidal puts the foot into it, it is good. With 1:41 seconds to go in the second quarter, it's Jenks 27 and Carroll 14 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. I'm Steven Nelson, partner at Millswell. Our team is celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping Dragons succeed financially. As an independent firm, we aren't owned by a bank or an insurance company. Instead, we're fiduciaries doing only what we believe is best for our clients. If your finances need a second opinion or would like to tap into our expertise, come meet with our certified financial planners or CPAs and learn how we can help you win just like the Dragons. Look us up online or give us a call at millswealthadvisors.com.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Carroll has scored the game's last 14 points to make it a 27-14 lead for Jenks with 1:41 to go in the first half. So we get set for Vidal to kick this one away. Jenks hasn't been able to return one yet, but this one will be returnable. It is C.J. Wright who's going to be stopped at the 20-yard line. Big hit there applied by the Dragons. It was Josh Berger, the senior, on the stop.
Big drive for Brody Knowles. Younger brother of the great Graham Knowles at Georgia Tech, former Southlake Carroll quarterback.
6-play, 54-yard drive that Knowles capped off with that touchdown reception.
Pretty much say that was Knowles. All Knowles drive.
All Knowles. He had a couple big, drew the pass interference, then had the touchdown. He had 7 touchdown receptions a season ago. Kazar back in the gun, fires it out to Clinton along the near sideline. Clinton makes a cut and goes down in bounds at the 25. Moving quickly here with 1:22 to go. Fires it again near sideline. Clinton, can the Dragons keep him in bounds? They do. The Jenks sideline wants the clock to be stopped there, but they don't get the call.
Yeah, you've got to get more urgency up here. You've got to get the ball out of bounds. You got to stop the clock a little bit if you're Jenks.
The 3rd and 1. They hand it off. Wright is going to have the first down, makes a defender miss, has plenty more now across the 45 near midfield. Is finally chased down from behind by Bennett Hunt. But it moves the sticks for Jenks, which does not have, has 1 timeout remaining. Low snap, he wasn't looking at it, but flags fly a little bit late here. There's going to be a false start. As we await the call. I thought I saw the side judge come running in, making the false start call. Jenks was deciding whether or not to use its last timeout or not here. They opt to take the runoff instead. So it takes us down to 37 seconds to go in the first half. They're going to go empty backfield here for Kazar. Wright motions out to the right. Kazar looking that way. Now looks over the middle. Looking Dillard over the top. Not there. Overthrew him. Great step-for-step coverage by the Dragons.
A great job by Josh Berger. Just step for step for the Jenks receiver. And I tell you what, that's not an easy task on Dillard. You know they're going to go there. But great job on just being there and making the play.
So now it's 2nd and long. Clock stopped, of course, after the incompletion. Jenks still at their own 46. Figure to take a couple of more shots here. It's been a big play offense so far tonight. Wright motions out of the backfield. Kazar dropping back. Has time. In rhythm, throws over the middle, in and out of the hands of Jalen Cato.
Cato had some room on that. Just a drop by Cato. Usually he brings that in.
He's been pretty sure-handed tonight. Has had a couple of big plays for this offense. We see the CLC Roofing replay.
Big 3rd down for this Dragon defense.
We see a lot of substitutions coming on for the Dragons here. And it looks like Jenks will take its final timeout.
Timeout, Jenks. That's their 3rd and final of the half.
So let's take the short break with them as well. Timeouts tonight brought to you by the Feed Store Barbecue. 21 seconds to go before halftime. It's Jenks 27 and Carroll 14 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
It is a big third down play coming up here for Jenks with 21 seconds to go before halftime. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you at the Cotton Bowl. The season opener. Almost 2 quarters down. Jenks with a bunch set to the left of the formation. One receiver alone at the top of your screen on the right side. They send the tight end in motion. Braxton Daniel left to right into the slot. Now they bring another. That's Jalen Cato. Dillard's now all alone outside. They motion right out of the backfield. Empty set. Kazar looking to throw with time. Over the middle. Thrown behind Dillard, and he couldn't haul it in. So it'll be 4th down. So a couple of missed throws over the middle here. One missed catch, one missed throw for this Jenks offense.
It was a great job by DeMarcus Ware Jr. staying home and at least getting in the way or being there. It has been a presence on Dillard. And I'll tell you what, we've seen this with Kazar a little bit with his arm, just a little behind or a little short. It hasn't been there tonight.
So now Promised Johnson on to punt it away. Takes the snap. Rugby-style kick that Gunter will let hit inside the 20-yard line and fielded down near the 10 by the Trojans. So Carroll will get it with 6 seconds left. Would expect them to just let this thing run out. Go regroup, get the ball first in the third quarter.
I think you definitely just take the moment here and regroup, get into halftime, settle down. This is why you schedule these games. They're going to test you early. The Dragons have responded, and they can take it in the locker room and, hey, we got the ball back. We're right back in this game.
You score in that first possession. It's a one-possession game, and you're right back in it. And Hudson Tomczyk has shown some good things as the first half has progressed. Settled things down a little bit after those first couple of series. Dragons have managed to hold on to the ball and put together some lengthier drives.
Mm-hmm.
So Carroll looks like they're ready to take a knee. Tomczyk will take the snap and kneel down to send us to halftime. So 2 quarters in the books in the season opener at the Cotton Bowl. The score at the halftime is Jenks 27 and Carroll 14. Coming up, you heard one of our new sponsors this season, the Dallas Renegades. We will chat with their head coach, Rick Neuheisel. He coached a game here about 30 years ago this fall.
And what a good guy. I tell you what, I sat there and listened to the interview, Chris, while you were doing it. And he is a great guy, and he is excited to be in the Southlake community. And stay tuned. What a phenomenal head coach, if you know a lot about Coach Neuheisel. But he is excited to be part of Dragonland.
So we'll talk about it with Coach Neuheisel, but the Renegades are practicing at Dragon Stadium this coming spring. So he'll be around the community. The players will be around. A great opportunity. But for now, of course, it's a spring season, so he is focused on his college football broadcasting responsibilities.
Well, I think it's great. It gives a professional team in Southlake that will be part of the community, which is great.
So that conversation coming up next. Again, Dragons trail by 13 at the half on the Dragon Sports Network.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
This is Pastors John and Todd from White's Chapel in Southlake. White's Chapel is a church where it's all about Jesus. We're a place where real people make genuine connections, where it's okay not to be okay.
We're a church where grace is a lifestyle and where everyone has a place. From the lifelong believer to the unchurched or de-churched, we're here for you, and we'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons!
Hello, Dragon fans. I'm Steven Nelson, partner at Mills Wealth. Our team is celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping dragons succeed financially. As an independent firm, we aren't owned by a bank or an insurance company. Instead, we're fiduciaries doing only what we believe is best for our clients. If your finances need a second opinion or would like to tap into our expertise, come meet with our certified financial planners or CPAs and learn how we can help you win just like the Dragons. Look us up online or give us a call at millswealthadvisors.com.
Between Carroll and Jenks in the season opener at the Cotton Bowl. Chris Blake joined by the head coach of the Dallas Renegades, Rick Neuheisel, of course, longtime college football head coach as well. But Coach, thanks for taking the time to jump on with us today.
It's my pleasure. Excited about being with you.
And one of the reasons, Coach, that we're having you on a Southlake Carroll High School football broadcast is because the Dallas Renegades have a very significant tie to Southlake. You guys practiced last season at Dragon Stadium. You're going to do it again this year and play your home games a little bit further north up in Frisco. But what was it like getting to use that facility and getting to be at least a little bit of the time in the Southlake community?
Well, let me say thank you to all of those folks in Southlake for their hospitality. We had a great time practicing there. It's always fun to be in a stadium where you're looking up and seeing all sorts of championship, banners and such, for the great programs that have played there. Quinn Ewers, obviously recent fame there as the quarterback at Texas, an alum. I've followed his career carefully as a broadcaster. So it has been a treat to feel like we're part of the Dragon family.
Well, you mentioned Quinn Ewers. You are a quarterbacks guy, and Carroll has put out a bunch of guys that you probably had a chance to see, from Quinn Ewers to Greg McElroy and so many others. In your experience coaching at the college level, when you see a high school that can consistently develop a particular position, what does that tell you about a program?
Well, it tells you a great deal about a program. And one of the keys then is to make sure that the youngster that you're recruiting has what you're looking for individually, because sometimes you get kind of lured into something just because of the success of a team or the numbers saying that this guy's, a terrific player and so forth. And for the most part, they are, but you got to be, they didn't just get swept along with the rising tide of a very successful program. But you guys have had so many good players and such, fun programs to follow. And anybody worth his salt in the game of college football knows that Texas football is a unique brand. So always fun to recruit that area.
It's actually one of the things I wanted to ask you about. So many years in the college game. This is your first longer term stop in Texas, but what were some of your memories of maybe some recruiting trips to Texas or the Dallas area? that stand out, or what just makes it such a hotbed for high school football?
Well, I've been there many times to recruit that area. Matter of fact, one of the guys that I recruited from that particular area is a kid by the name of Tommy Maddox, who ended up going to UCLA and played for us there in Westwood. He actually came out to practice. He's living there in a neighboring town from Southlake, and came out and watched. I made him throw some passing drills to our running backs. But listen, when you come to Texas, you know that there's going to be tons and tons of inventory. Scouring through it and getting the right guys is the key. And I've always enjoyed my time in Texas, not just for the recruiting, but also for the food and the hospitality. Because I think I gained, I don't know, 15, 20 pounds when I was quarterback in the San Antonio Gunslingers 100 years ago. I learned this new kind of fangled food called fajitas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in real trouble. I needed some help getting out of my fajita fix.
Were you able to find a good spot for the fajita fix during the season last year?
Oh, many good spots for fajitas. I told you in Southlake, I think I have stock in Stella's, that Italian place right there. What tremendous food, and you always get a good song or two when they are doing those celebrations in that particular restaurant as well.
Well, I mean, so much of coming to practice in a community, you get to, more so than where you're playing your games, you get to kind of live and be a part of it. What were some of the things, aside from Stella's, some of the things that stuck out to you and made you enjoy the time in Southlake last spring?
My wife and I love Moxie's. We kind of walk down that little road where all those little kind of townhomes were, and kind of pick one we'd want to have someday and all that kind of stuff. I told you we went and looked at some properties in and around. Just a beautiful kind of know your neighbor kind of town, and it just seemed so welcoming. So I think that was fun. And it was fun to go there, 4 or 5 times a week, which was, the practice schedule, especially during training camp. I never got done. I wanted to take the team bowling, but I never got that one done. But I'll get it done this year, I promise you.
And got to get you involved with the CVB for Southlake here.
There you go. I had a blast hanging out in your town, and look forward to doing it again.
Well, coming up year 2 for the Renegades, what are some of the things that you guys are focused on as an organization heading into your second year as the head coach?
Well, it's wildly different this year than it was last, because everything was so new last year. We drafted a team, and I'm going off of sheets of paper rather than film study because I just didn't have time to get it all done. This year, I think we get to keep anybody who wants to come back. So we'll have a bunch of familiar faces to start camp with. Then we get to go out and, look and scour. I'll have plenty of time to look and scour the next few months until I think middle of November sometime is going to be our draft. And I'm having and I have a coaching staff in place that knows exactly what their marching orders are for the fall. So we're going to be light years ahead of where we were. Obviously, we're extremely excited about some of our guys getting a chance in the NFL. Baylor Cup is signed, a tight end from Baylor. He's got a chance right now. We've got Austin Reed in the Baltimore Raven camp right now trying to make the team. Sean Wade was an all-league corner for us out of Ohio State. He's with the Eagles trying to make the team. So we've got a number of guys that are out there doing their best and pulling for them to see if they can make these dreams come true.
So do you look at part of your role as helping guys try to get to the NFL?
Maybe the most important role. Football is a wonderful game, but the NFL stands for not for long. So if you get an opportunity to go and chase your dream and put a little money away for your futures, that's a tremendous thing. And I think all of us as coaches want that for them. And if it doesn't happen, we want them to have a really positive experience as their last time of playing, lacing up the cleats, so to speak. Because football has been a part of these guys' lives for some time, and you want it to be one of those things as they look back, it's fond memories.
You said watching a lot of guys trying to make NFL 53-man rosters right now, and then the draft in November. What does this time of year kind of look like for you over the next few months? Is it just watching a lot of college football? Is it some travel? What do you got going on?
Well, I've got a few jobs, right? So I've got a radio show that's on Sirius XM Channel 84 called Full Ride. I do it with a fellow by the name of Chris Childers. So I'm following and tracking college football every day. We've been, following all the stuff that's going on in the courtrooms across the country. This eligibility thing. There's a bill in Congress that's been tabled until they come back. At least the Senate comes back in September, to Protect College Sports Act. So we're following that. Obviously, with the games coming up, can't wait to watch another season take off and explode. It'll be exciting as it can be. I work for CBS. That's job number one, probably. And so I'll be in the studio in New York, pregame, halftime, postgame, and a lot of double headers this year as we bring you Big Ten action as well as Mountain West and new Pac-12 action. So that'll be a treat following all that. And then we get down to the Army-Navy game at the end. And then I'm thinking focused completely on being the Renegades head coach. I told you our draft will be in November, so I'll be multitasking around then. But it's a treat. You know what? As Toby Keith once said, don't let the old man in.
And the last thing I wanted to ask you about was, you played a game at the Cotton Bowl actually 30 years ago, where we are tonight for this game. Carroll and Jenks, your Colorado team, beat Oregon in that game 36-3, or excuse me, 38-6 rather. What do you remember about that game?
I remember it was cold, and the week started out kind of warm, and then all of a sudden it just turned bitter cold. But it was a great end to a first season for me. To get a chance, we had to beat Kansas State to get in that game, and that was when Kansas State had Bill Snyder and Bob Stoops was their defensive coordinator. It was a very proud thing to get ourselves into a New Year's Day game with that kind of reputation and that kind of history. And then to play well in it and find a way to win was terrific. We got to 10 wins, which is always kind of a seminal moment for a college program, especially when you only had 11 regular season games. So it was a treat to have that win and to be part of Cotton Bowl history.
All right, Coach Neuheisel, thanks for the time, and we'll see you around Southlake a little bit more come the new year.
I look forward to it. Hopefully we'll get the other guy I went to a Cotton Bowl with when I was coaching at UCLA. We'll get Troy Aikman out for a couple of practices.
Be great.
He's not too busy, is he?
I mean, I think once the Super Bowl's over, he's probably fine, right?
Yeah, they got the Super Bowl this year in February, and then we'll probably start our season a couple weeks after that. So I'll get Troy out to a practice or two and see if he can teach these whippersnappers something.
There we go. All right, Coach, thanks for the time.
See you now.
All right. Coach Rick Neuheisel of the Dallas Renegades joining us at halftime. Back after this on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak, and another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn ends. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Welcome back to the Feed Store Barbecue Halftime Show. Carroll trailing Jenks 27-14 in the season opener here at the Cotton Bowl. Chris Blake and Robert Clayton with you. And Robert, it was a great conversation with Rick Neuheisel, the head coach of the Dallas Renegades, and told him during the interview, but he needs to get signed up to be like the spokesperson for the city of Southlake.
I tell you what, he was incredible. And, I know he has a surface level knowledge, but I tell you what, he dives in the community, talks about walk around town squares.
He's dropping names of restaurants.
He's just loving it, loving it. But you know what, for those who maybe don't know a lot about Rick Neuheisel, back in the 90s, he coached some very powerful Colorado teams. Yep. And some legendary teams and players. And I don't know if you saw it last year, his main gig is at CBS, and he does a tremendous job there, but his son got an opportunity to be an intern head coach. That was a really cool moment. We didn't really touch on the interview, but I tell you what's really important is that, you get a professional team there operating out of Southlake, and getting those players involved, and hopefully we can get into some of the games and really get them involved. And it's a cool opportunity just for the community to see the other side. Professional sports it's a tough game, and those players, as you heard from the interview, his job is to get them in the NFL. Mm-hmm. They might be cycling from the NFL into the UFL, from the UFL to the NFL. So you're getting a glimpse of what you can see on Sundays. And, that's not semi-pro ball. That is professional ball. Mm-hmm. And some guys you've heard on Saturdays are playing in the league, some pretty prominent names.
Well, yeah, these spring football leagues that have come and gone over the years, when you turn them on in the spring, see a ton of guys who played at power conference programs and are trying to make their way to the NFL if there's an opportunity. But let's look at some of the numbers here from the first half in this one. From an individual standpoint for the Dragons, we saw Hudson Tomchek get the start at quarterback. He's 6 of 9, 52 yards and a touchdown. Palmer Pensum 3 of 4, 67 yards and 1 touchdown. That's been where the bulk of the yardage for the Dragons has come today. Touchdown receptions by Brody Knowles and Easton Need. But look at what they've done on the ground. Carroll actually in the negative on the ground when you factor in sacks. Dragons have -5 yards rushing, and we were talking off air, got to figure out how to get something going in the running game.
Yeah, that's been the staple. People always think of Southlake as a passing attack team, but if you really looked at it over the past 8-9 years, it's really been based around that inside zone scheme that opens up the passing game and keeps the defenses honest. And I think we've got to go towards that here in the second half and lean on this offensive line and chew up some clock. Because on the reverse side, right, you have Jenks that is returning 8 starters on offense and defense. They're a well-oiled machine, and they're eating up the clock, Chris. And so your opportunities could get a little slimmer here in the second half. So you got to take advantage of it, and you got to start to own the clock a little bit. But a lot of these are first game jitters.
Yeah.
That first drive, you look at it, you can't say that doesn't happen. That's part of the game. They settled in and they're able to respond. And I think what's really important if you're out there at home listening and watching is the response from the Dragons. They did a terrific job on not getting down, hanging their heads and feeling sorry for themselves. They came back and bounced back with 4 points on the board. It had a big shutout with Jenks right before the half, shut them down. Now they're going to get the ball back here in the second half. And it's a new game, Chris.
Carroll does get the ball first. And on the Jenks side, the star has been C.J. Wright. Caleb Dillard has had an impact. He's the the top-rated recruit on this roster, but Wright, 138 rushing yards, 33 receiving yards, so it's closing in on a 200-yard half and a touchdown as well.
Let's talk about, we're going to talk about that Wright situation. So in the state of Oklahoma, you actually get one free transfer.
Yep.
Okay, which is unique. So regardless of athletic purposes or educational, you get one transfer. You can transfer anywhere. And this gentleman was actually a transfer from a private school in Oklahoma into Jenks. And so it was a great opportunity for them to take on the program. You know, it could be something down the line that maybe the UIL might want to look at. And what that really means to fans at home is that, hey, if someone from a Colleyville Heritage or a Trophy Club or a Byron Nelson wants to transfer, they can transfer over to a Southlake, and vice versa. A Southlake player could do. They get one shot to do it with no intention. So it's a pretty unique rule that I was not aware of.
Yeah, we were talking about it with Adam Gaylor this week. Said the governing body for high school sports made that a rule a few years ago. Up there in Oklahoma. But we've got some time here before the third quarter starts, so let's sneak in another break here during the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. The score at halftime, Jenks 27, Carroll 14. Thanks for joining us for the season opener on the Dragon Sports Network.
Star on the field, but are you a star on the road?
Hi, I'm Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst Autoplex.
And I'm Esther Spiricueta, Finance Manager at Hearst Autoplex. Hearst and Louisville Autoplex are proud sponsors of the Southlake Carroll Dragons football team because we back winners.
And winners like you deserve to ride in style. We have the kind of vehicles pro athletes and country music stars come to us for. We can source the vehicle for you and even build it from our in-house custom shop.
2 convenient locations, 1 Autoplex family. Shop us online at Hearst Autoplex or LouisvilleAutoplex.com.
For over 40 years, Sumner Law has delivered results for our clients. From Fortune 150 companies to family mom and pop businesses to individuals in high-stakes legal matters, including business litigation, employment law, catastrophic personal injury, wrongful death, and criminal defense. At Sumner Law, exceptional results are the standard, and we are now proud to be a part of the Southlake community. Sumner Law, legendary results since 1986. Let's go, Dragons.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
Just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter. Chris Blake and Robert Clayton with you from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. A cool opportunity for these high school players to get a chance to play at this historic venue. Cotton Bowl games, of course, played here up until 2009 when it moved over to AT&T Stadium, but the Red River rivalry game is still played here, and various other bowl games have been played here since the Cotton Bowl relocated.
Well, a legendary field. I mean, you had the old school Dallas Texans, the Cowboys started here, SMU was here. This is so-called the house that Doak Walker built.
Yep.
I had a opportunity to play as a Dragon in 1998, our second round playoff against Dallas Hillcrest. Shout out to Ty Strickland and Nathan Chandler and Clay McNutt and my big boys up front. All those guys we played with, and so it is a really cool venue. I'm not sure much has changed since I played in it from the looks, but it looks like they've done some updating in the stadium. I know they did a big facelift and did some things a few years ago.
Have you been here since that game?
Have I been here since that game? No, but I've had quite a few corn dogs at the state fair from time to time.
The last time I was in here.
Actually, a lot of the time, not time to time.
The last time I was in here, I got a chance to come to that Stars Winter Classic game they played here 6 years ago. That was really cool. But that was the last time I was in this building. But walking up from the parking lot today, I texted my wife when I got up here. I was like, maybe we should make sure we get to the state fair this year and get some of that food.
Well, you can see it all kind of like starting to come out.
Yeah, it's only
they're getting ready for it.
It's like a month away.
You can smell the corn dogs.
All right,
maybe I'm just hungry, Chris.
Maybe a little both.
Yeah.
All right, let's sneak in one more quick break before the start of the third quarter as the Dragons are retaking the field here at the Cotton Bowl. Carroll gets the ball first in the third quarter. That wraps up the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
You can trust your medical care at Southlake Dermatology. We have over 65 years of experience between Dr. Bowers, Dr. Tynard, and our 4 physician assistants. We treat a wide range of medical, surgical, and cosmetic concerns ranging from skin cancer, hair loss, rashes, increased sweating, and anti-aging. There are multiple new options for hair loss, such as Nutrafol supplements and PRP injections. View our services online at southlakedermatology.com.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 Dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
We are ready for the start of the third quarter at the Cotton Bowl. Carroll will receive the second half kickoff. It's a short one and going to be fielded at the 10-yard line by Des Bryant Jr., running left to right, trying to get outside the numbers, and is going to be chased down from behind and brought down at about the 18-yard line. So that's where Carroll will get started here.
We talk about a few of the names on the Jenks team and tackled by Colt Calamus there. If some of y'all remember back in the late 90s, early 2000s, Rocky Calamus, the All-American linebacker at OU, that is his nephew. He's another budding star sophomore linebacker for this Jenks team.
A lot of football family connections on this Jenks roster. You mentioned earlier the running back that graduated a year ago, K.D. Jones, son of Kawan Jones, who was the running back at Oklahoma.
Corey Klein's son is Cade Klein.
So on first down, it's Gavin Gooden getting the carry and stopped right at the line of scrimmage on first down. So we saw Brooks Biggers get the bulk of the snaps at running back as he comes back onto the field here, but Gooden saw the second most snaps at that running back position for the Dragons in the first half. And we'll see how that position starts to shake out.
And Biggers is the bell horse. He's that one cut back. He's going to get there. He's that inside zone. He's that tough runner. Got to get him involved in the offense.
They try to keep it on the ground again here. Tomczyk keeps it, trying to bounce it outside, and is ultimately going to be stopped after a short gain of a yard or two at the 21-yard line.
It looks like there's a little confusion in the backfield on that play between Biggers and Tomczyk. But again, I don't mind seeing Tomczyk run. He's so athletic. maybe some more designed runs with Tomczyk to open up the offense a little bit.
A couple of two-way players that we haven't really seen on the offensive side yet for Carroll. The defense has been taxed a little bit, but Trent Fergel and Thomas Joyner we expect to see on the offensive side at times this year as well. A 3rd down and 8 at their own 21. 3 receivers to the left. Tomczyk under pressure, flicks it out sideline. Biggers lowers the head and is going to be brought down shy of the 1st down. Nice open field tackle there made by the Jenks corner coming downhill. That was Henderson.
It was a good check down by Tomczyk, avoiding the sack and getting out the Biggers on the flat. Really the only thing that was open there. Again, pressure by Jenks there off the edge. And, again, very similar to what Coach Munn does on Coach Gaylor. Both defensive minds, they'll rotate these fronts. They'll bring pressure. They'll do stunts. They'll do twists. Anything to keep the offense on their heels.
So Carroll will punt again. Tyler Cooper gets it away. Cade Klein to receive. Calls for the fair catch. Speaking of family connections, haven't even mentioned Hudson Tomczyk. His father,
the great Guy,
was the quarterback at Baylor, late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, I actually played against Guy. Guy was a quarterback at Colleyville Heritage. During our 98 run, he was there at Colleyville Heritage, and a terrific high school quarterback. One of the biggest prospects in the DFW area in the state of Texas, and went on to play at Baylor. It's an incredible player. So you hear a lot of that in these Dragon teams.
Yep.
A lot of siblings or fathers that were spectacular athletes.
Jenks gets the ball for the first time in the second half and keeps it on the ground. Big hit coming up for the Dragons from that defensive end spot.
Sam Erickson.
Sam Erickson laying the lumber.
We've called his name a few times, and he's one of those guys. He's been a veteran in this defense, and he knows how to get off blocks. Watch him get off from the end and make the play across the field. Terrific job.
Replay brought to you by CLC Roofing. If your roof is bad, call Chad. And on 2nd down, they get it out into the flat for Dillard for a short gain. It's 3rd down and about 7.
Again, Erickson on the stop. He's the guy that's going to have to lead this defensive line. And I mentioned this in the pregame. This defensive line, they're going to be the reason this team is going to be in. They've got to get penetration.
Everybody up at the line for the Dragons. They bring pressure. Kazard trying to step through it. He's not going to be able to. Gets there. Flags coming in. Dragons got there, but flags fly from every direction. We'll see what the call is.
Really good pressure by Landon Harris, and then great follow-up by Desmond Tahalo.
So nearly a stop that would have forced a punt, but instead it is a first down for Jenks.
That's tough. Great opening series by this Carroll defense. Really, maintaining gap integrity, making the plays. You hate to see that, on just inadvertent face mask, so to speak.
But every official saw it. The flags came in.
I didn't see anything,
just
Chris.
About every.
I didn't see it. I didn't see a thing.
So a new set of downs for the Trojans at the 40. 3 receivers to the right. Kazar stepping back, has time, gets it away to Dillard, and he's going to be stopped across midfield there by Landon Harris.
The front four starting to get some pressure for this Dragon defense. A good little comeback route by Dillard to get that ball. Again, the ball's a little short.
First down from the 50. They give it to Wright. A lot of room outside across the 40, 30. Can they catch him along the sideline? Finally cut down out of bounds by Bennett Hunt. But a huge gain bouncing it outside by C.J. Wright.
It's so tough. You get a one-to-one on that outside edge going to the short end of the field. It's not something the defense always expects. And you got to have jets to do it, and C.J. Wright does.
So it'll be 1st and goal just inside the 10-yard line for the Trojans. Carroll's defense, up until that play, looked pretty good on this series. So they go Wildcat here. Dillard takes the direct snap. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. And he's stopped by Harris again.
Again, going back to the counter, They love getting Braxton Daniel there, pulling and wrapping behind the tackle, and you have the kick out block by the left guard. They love get behind those linemen and grinding out the yards.
So we go with a couple of tight ends here, with Kazar back in at quarterback, right to his left. Fake it to right, throw over the middle, nearly intercepted, was out in front of Dillard. Spaeth there in coverage for the Dragons.
Good in coverage, and one thing you're seeing, he's worried about the pressure. The Dragons are starting to get some penetration, and he's starting to throw the ball erratically at times and almost come there with a pick.
Neither team has forced a turnover yet tonight. As they go to Carricker at quarterback.
Big Mappa Vanaku is in.
Carricker going to keep it, trying to find some room on the left side of the line, pushing. He's going to be stopped shy of the goal line. So it'll be 4th and down at the 2, or 4th and goal at the 2. A long 2. They're going to go quick here.
Got a heavy set to left, too tight. Another lead blocker in the running back.
Carricker keeps it again, and the Dragons come up with a 4th down stop. A huge defensive stand for the Dragons at the 2-yard line.
We talked about them bringing in Mappa. Mappa, big 75. I tell you what, this guy is the biggest guy in the Carroll program and the strongest player in the Carroll program. Watch him make that penetration. There's nowhere for Carricker to go. Great stand by the Dragon defense.
Replays brought to you by CLC Roofing. If your roof is bad, call Chad. And Vainuku getting that push up front allowed the rest of his teammates to get in there and swarm Carricker for the stop.
He benches about 385 pounds, Chris. He is a large human being, but really athletic. Just a guy you have to have on the field for this Dragon team at some point.
And we think we're going to get the chance to see him play on both sides of the ball this year at different times. You are seeing a Carroll quarterback line up under center. And it's a quarterback sneak just trying to get out of the shadow of the goal line, and they do. And that's something we think we're going to see some this year as well. As Hudson Tomczyk.
We're having tight ends catch balls. We're going under center. We're quarterback sneaking. What are we doing? Are we back in the 90s again? But I love it. I think it gives another element to this offense, and you got to execute. You got to practice it. But good and smart play calling first down.
So Tomczyk now with a little bit of breathing room, got out to the 6-yard line on a 2nd down snap. Design run for him again, trying to get out to the right side. Cuts it upfield, picked up about 2 before he was brought down. It'll be 3rd and short. And you wanted to see them get him out into space a little bit more.
I do. I think he's a tremendous player in space, and get him comfortable, get confidence.
We've got a player down on each team right here as the athletic training staffs come out to take a look at him.
Big Will Barley.
And as they do, let's go ahead and take a quick break here with 6:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's Jenks 27, Carroll 14 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whitechapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Nashua Charleston, the injured Trojans player, slowly walking off the field. Before Carroll faces a 3rd down and 5 from their own 8-yard line. A couple of running plays by Hudson Tomczyk to get the series started. Let's see if the Dragons go to the air here. Knowles, the lone receiver on the left side. 2 receivers right. Biggers in the backfield. Tomczyk drops back, has plenty of time, now steps up in the pocket, is going to tuck it, try to run for the first down, splits 2 defenders, and has the first down across the 15.
Wise choice by Hudson to duck it down, felt the pressure, escaped the pocket, got a first down, moving the chains.
You talked about winning the battle in the trenches for Carroll. It seems like here in this third quarter, the offensive line starting to protect a little bit more. The defensive line, the previous series, was starting to get a little bit more of a push. Tomczyk checks it down. What a grab over the middle by Brody Knowles. Ball was thrown behind him, and somehow he was able to haul it in.
Terrific protection up front. Tristan did a heck of a job there on his block on keeping Hudson protected, and great job by Brody Knowles on just keeping his eyes on the ball, making the first down.
Replay brought to you by CLC Roofing. Tomczyk looking to throw. Pumps. Now he's going to take a deep shot over the middle. Need all by himself across the 40 into Jenks territory. Almost broke it free for a touchdown. But
this is the East and Need show, baby.
Point-saving tackle made by the Trojans.
What a terrific job by East and Need. You know, you typically don't see the Carroll tight ends get involved, but great job by Hudson Tomczyk staying poised and delivering a strike over to East and Need.
Carroll going quickly here after getting the big play. Tomczyk hands off to Biggers. Brooks cuts it back inside across the 25-yard line down to the 23.
That's what we love to see. You're looking that zone. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's almost like a little lineman dance there to the right, and Biggers finding the hole. You got to keep that up if there's Dragon offensive line.
Second down. Biggers again, this time hitting the backfield. Big push there up front for the Trojans. It was
Luke McKinley. He's one of the better defensive linemen that I've seen on film. He's going to Navy. He's the guy that Coach Gaylor says that, you know, if he was about 2 inches taller, he'd be playing at any SEC school he wanted.
So third down for the Dragons here. They slow it down a little bit after losing a couple of yards. Gooden into the backfield at running back. They'll motion him out to the right. Empty set for Tomczyk. He drops back, looking left, throws, caught at the 20 by Des Bryant Jr. That's going to be shy of the first down. And Lee Munn saying, let's go for it here. So it'll be 4th and about 2. Got to get to the 18-yard line. 2 receivers right, Knowles to the left. Need on the right side of the formation. Everybody up on the line for Jenks. Tomczyk has time over the middle. Caught Bryant inside the 10. 5. Did he get in? I think they're going to rule him down at the 1-yard line. Des Bryant Jr. almost sneaking into the end zone. It'll be 1st and goal for the Dragons.
They're starting to feel Tomczyk get a rhythm, and he's getting comfortable in the pocket. Great protection up front by the big guys. And what a play by Des Bryant Jr. I know he wanted that touchdown to be his first touchdown, but I tell you what, there'll be plenty more in his career.
CLC Roofing replay as they get set for the 1st and goal snap. Tomczyk, give it on the ground. Gooden stopped shy. His helmet was ripped off by a defender at the end of the play, so he's going to have to leave the field. It'll be Biggers coming back in. They shuffle through a couple of the receivers as well.
That's actually Fergal.
Oh, Fergal into the game at running back. It's maybe his first snap at running back of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Jenks has everybody up on the line. Tomczyk looking to throw. Is going to tuck it. It's going to walk into the end zone for the touchdown. The junior with his first rushing varsity touchdown, and it brings Carroll to within 1 score. It's 27-20.
It's a great job. This is what Hudson Tomczyk brings to the table. He brings the escapability. Great job looking down. It wasn't there. He tucks it, finds the hole, finds pay dirt. Great job on just taking what is given, getting this Dragon team on the scoreboard. It looked bleak at once at 27-0. Now it's 27-20, hopefully 21.
Touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. As the extra point is good, our extra points sponsored by the Dallas Renegades. Follow them on social media for the latest news and updates. The Dragons, with 21 unanswered points, have cut it to a 6-point game with 2:49 to go in the third quarter on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
It was once 27-0 Jenks. It is now a 6-point lead for the Trojans after Carroll has scored the last 3 touchdowns in this one as this kickoff goes out of bounds. And Robert, you'll love the stats on the last drive. 11 plays, 99 yards in 4 minutes and 24 seconds.
It gives me chills, Chris.
99-yard drive.
That's what we always love to see, but I always hated as a lineman because by the end of it, I was dead. I was tired. I was like, you got to go 99 yards. Please get a big play. But I tell you what, a heck of a job by the Carroll offense.
No, in those first couple, they were just getting right behind the lineman and letting Tomczyk do the work. We saw him use his legs more on that drive than we've seen at any point so far tonight. So Jenks now trying to come up with an answer as they pitch it out to right. Has a hole off right tackle. Is going to be brought down by Erickson as he crossed the 30-yard line.
We talked a little bit about, these multiple players playing both ways and, the fatigue it's going to take on them. And I'm seeing a little bit on Jenks that might be the factor where, they haven't really been able to execute or put it in the end zone really since mid of the second quarter.
Erickson, it's like he may be cramping up a little bit, getting helped out by the training staff from both sides. And try to work that out. He makes his way back toward the Carroll sideline.
Those are never fun. There's nothing you can do about it either.
Just got to wait it out.
Got to wait out, walk it out.
Massage gun, whatever you got on the sideline. And he's had a great second half so far as well for the Dragons.
He's just a tremendous player for that Dragon defensive line.
And Carroll has depth along the front four. As we get set for this second down. Kazar is going to keep it, flick it out wide, and scooped right off the grass by Cato. That'll move the sticks.
And we're seeing that a lot with Kazar tonight. A little short on the arm strength on the throws is putting his receivers in tougher positions.
Now Cato down along the numbers near the Dragon sideline. He's helped up and jogging off the field.
And Chris, we haven't talked about the grass field either. This is something high school athletes aren't used to playing on really in the college level either, professionally too. I know Coach Munn said he was bringing out about 3 different pairs of cleats for the guys tonight to try to get some traction.
Let them see which ones they felt best in. And a lot of movement up front. False start here against Jenks. Though the Dragons are used to practicing on grass outdoors. No?
No, they're all field turf.
I don't even know what I'm standing on when I go out there.
It's okay, Chris.
Fewer and fewer venues anywhere have grass anymore.
You might be talking about old Dragon Stadium. That's all grass. Soon to be turf, a new DYF facility for the Southlake community. Pretty cool project happening.
Heavy right side of the formation as they fake it on the jet sweep. Kazar with a lot of times looking deep, throws it up for Dillard, and a lot of contact. No flag. Bennett Hunt in coverage for the Dragons.
The Jenks is screaming, they want a flag, but I'll tell you what, you just threw that ball up and Bennett Hunt made a terrific play. Great job by the Dragon secondary.
Take a look at the CLC Roofing replay.
I don't say anything. I say a great play on the ball by Bennett Hunt.
The Jenks sideline making a lot of noise after that one, but it will be 2nd and long for the Trojans. Kazar had a lot of time. Dillard maybe outran the range. They keep it on the ground here. Get close to the original line of scrimmage. Dillard still along the near sideline talking to the line judge. Maybe about that last play. It's 3rd and 11 now for the Trojans. So we tick down under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Empty backfield. Kazar gets rid of it. Throws it behind Cato. Had him open. Just missed the receiver. So it'll be 4th and long. Jenks will have to punt.
Great stand by the Dragon defense. And I'll tell you what, Jenks has relatively been hitting all cylinders all night. Great stand for the second possession here of the second half. Again, giving this Carroll offense an opportunity.
The Dragons will get the ball back with an opportunity to chip into this lead a little more or take the lead as the punt is nearly blocked. Gunter back to receive it, calls for the fair catch, couldn't hang on to it, it's loose and it goes. No, it's recovered. I thought it was going to go out of bounds, but the officials say Jenks jumped on it before the ball went out of bounds.
I was so close, Chris. It looked like it was going out of bounds. Let's take a look.
So Gunter got caught moving right to left. Could almost make a case that Henderson was
catch interference.
Yeah, I don't think Gunter could have gotten closer to that ball without making contact with a Jenks player.
Recovered by the captain.
But if Gunter goes up and goes into Henderson, he probably draws the penalty. But it is a break for the Trojans here with 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Empty backfield for Kazar. Now they shuffle things around. Kyron Scott into the backfield. They bring pressure off the edge. Scott lowers the head, gets across the 15-yard line to the 14.
Going back to the GY counter again, getting big Braxton Daniel, number 9, there on the wrap and getting the pull by the guard, kicking out the end.
Jenks going to snap it one more time here in the 3rd quarter. Scott inside the 10, close to the 5, has the first down.
We talked about Scott, what he is. He's just such a big human being. He is a power back in all regards.
And with 2 seconds, they will not get another snap off. That will be the end of the 3rd quarter. So Jenks, after recovering a fumble on that punt, has an opportunity here inside the 10-yard line as we go to the fourth quarter. 3 quarters down, 1 to go. Score is Jenks 27, Carroll 21 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
It is the start of the fourth quarter at the Cotton Bowl and the state line showdown between Carroll and Jenks, a couple of the top programs in their respective states. Jenks knocking on the door of going up 2 scores here. It'll be first and goal inside the 10-yard line. The Dragon defense, see if it can come up with another answer. They've had 1 fourth down stop at the goal line tonight. Imagine Jenks will take 4 shots here. On first down, they give it to Scott. Outside left tackle, gets into the end zone for the score. The first Jenks points since they went up 27-0. And he gets into the end zone, brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate.
Well, you can see against just a GRI counter with the play they've run so many times tonight. And you have Scott just such a low center of gravity. He is a big back, and he's going to find the end zone. Great play by Jenks to get on the scoreboard.
You've got to look at it there on the CLC Roofing replay. If your roof is bad, call Chad. The extra, they're going to go for 2 here to try to make it a 14-point game. Give it to Scott, trying to get in, still pushing. And the Dragons stop him. They do. They push him back. So Carroll comes up with a stop there to keep it a 12-point contest at 33-21. So with 11:54 to go in the fourth quarter, it's Jenks 33, Carroll 21 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Star on the field, but are you a star on the road?
Hi, I'm Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst Autoplex.
And I'm Esther Spiricueta, Finance Manager at Hearst Autoplex. Hearst and Louisville Autoplex are proud sponsors of the Southlake Carroll Dragons football team because we back winners.
And winners like you deserve to ride in style. We have the kind of vehicles pro athletes and country music stars come to us for. We can source the vehicle for you and even build it from our in-house custom shop.
2 convenient locations, 1 Autoplex family. Shop us online at Hearst Autoplex or LouisvilleAutoplex.com.
(33-21). Jenks on top with 11:54 to go in the fourth quarter. Chris Blake and Robert Clayton with you at the Cotton Bowl. Our statistician Monty Clegg, director Tim Polster tonight. Jenks with a 5-play, 14-yard drive. It took 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Ended with the Kyron Scott touchdown. Kickoff. It's going to be over the head of Des Bryant Jr. and into the end zone for a touchback. Robert, Jenks tonight has gone over the 300-yard mark on the ground. A lot of that's been by C.J. Wright. He's got 189 yards. The rushing attack has broken some big plays for him.
Well, you know, that's always kind of been the Achilles heel for the Dragon defense, but you got to think again, too, that, you know, this is a whole new starters. Every single one on this defensive side is brand new to the starting position. And so there's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some growing. They're going to take a look at the film. They'll get it corrected. But yeah, it's been a day for the Jenks on the ground.
Tomczyk will throw on first down, has time underneath Knowles, caught across the 35, down to the 36-yard line.
I love seeing Hudson. He's doing his progressions. You're seeing him go target to target, checks down, gets to Knowles. Big game by Knowles. Again, hey, let's lean it towards the playmakers here on the offense. Get them the ball, nothing flashy. Stay in the pocket, deliver a strike.
2 receivers each side on first down. He'll throw again. Has time, looking left sideline, throws it up, looking for Knowles. This one is, he brought it in again. Brody Knowles goes up and gets another one down the left sideline.
There's a connection here with Brody Knowles and Hudson Tomczyk. Watch Hudson Tomczyk stay in here. He gets pressured. They play some games up front. They're able to get to Hudson. He stays in, throws just a jump ball to Brody Knowles, comes down with a great job.
Gooden in the backfield. Tomczyk looking to throw. Right side. Gunter brings it in with the flag. Said go to the playmakers. Knowles and Gunter on this drive.
Feed him, Chris.
We'll wait to see what the call is, but you would think the Dragons will decline it. And they'll be first and goal from the 6. So we get a look at the CLC Roofing replay.
You can't grab a receiver, Chris. I don't think you can.
Great concentration by Gunter to haul that one in. First and goal from the 6-yard line. It's Gooden in the backfield. Need into the game at tight end on the right side of the formation. Jenks coaching staff barking orders defensively. They give it to Gooden on first down. He lost the ball. It was stripped, and Jenks says they have it. Still wrestling on the ground, and now it is a turnover for the Trojans. Turnover is presented by Paragon Designs. Turn over your next remodel or new home design.
It's a tough one. It was a really good block by Tristan Deere here. Standing up the defensive lineman, and then Gooden, he had a hole, just lost the ball.
Looked like McCurry had it with his body fully on the ground. But it was wrestled away before an official.
They need the CLC replay. Take a look at that.
Unfortunately, high school level, no replay. First down run gains about 3 yards for the Trojans. The offensive line for the Dragons here in this half has really settled down. It's provided Tomczyk with a lot more time, and I
think doing less is more, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you come back in the second half and you try not to do so much and just keep it basic. Keep what this is the number 1 offensive line in the state of Texas.
Keep it on the ground again, right to the 15. This is a big third down for Carroll. Down a couple of scores here. Need to find a way to get the ball back. Neither team has taken a timeout yet in this half, so plenty of opportunities to stop the clock for each side. Carroll brings pressure. Goes up the middle, and they're going to get a stop. Carroll stops him right at the line. Right had it.
A terrific job by the Dragon defensive line.
Caden Hodges among those in there.
John Esther, I mean, gang tackling here in this second half, reminiscent of what we come to understand with the Dragon defense, swarming the ball.
Jenks will send on the punt unit. Now Des Bryant Jr. back to receive this one. And I think we're going to have a timeout first. We are. Jenks calls its first timeout.
Prior to the delay penalty, timeout, Jenks, their first of the half.
We'll take the timeout with the Trojans. 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It's Jenks 33, Carroll 21 on the Dragon Sports Network.
For over 40 years, Sumner Law has delivered results for our clients. From Fortune 150 companies to family mom and pop businesses to individuals in high-stakes legal matters, including business litigation, employment law, catastrophic personal injury, wrongful death, and criminal defense. At Sumner Law, exceptional results are the standard, and we are now proud to be a part of the Southlake community. Sumner Law, legendary results since 1986. Let's go, Dragons.
Jenks set to punt it away on a 4th down and 2 with Des Bryant Jr. back to receive for the Dragons. Punt nearly blocked. It's low, hits just shy of the 50-yard line away from Bryant and is going to be picked up there by the Trojans. Carroll will start with it at its own 46-yard line. The Dragons, one of 3 teams in their new district in action here on this first Thursday. Keller Central, winners over Plano West, 26-17.
That's the team I'm putting money on to look at in the district, maybe sneak into that third or maybe second position. They've got a pretty solid team and a program that's been developing.
And in a game that is near the end in the fourth quarter, Byron Nelson trailing Arlington 24-14. The other 2 teams in 4-6A that are playing tonight. Everybody else gets going tomorrow. First down and 10 for Carroll. 46-yard line. Dragons need a couple of scores here. Tomczyk sent Biggers in motion. Is going to go deep down the middle looking for Knowles. Has him 10-5. Touchdown, Brody Knowles. He has taken over this game in the second half.
Incredible job by Brody Knowles. Hudson Tomczyk is staying in the pocket. He gets a roughing the passer on him. He gets absolutely decleated, but stays in and delivers a strike to Brody Knowles. And what a game for Mr. Knowles.
Having a standout night as Carroll's top option out wide. It took Carroll one play to find the end zone. Replay is brought to you by CLC Roofing this season. If your roof is bad, call Chad. Touchdown, of course, brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate as the Dragons will take the penalty on the point after, and it looks like they're going to go for 2 here. With Tomczyk getting instructions along the sideline. Now they're going to call the offense back to the sideline and send on the kicking unit. Try to make it a 5-point game instead of a 4-point game. Pensom the holder. Vidal to try to boot it through. Snap is down, kick is up and through. Extra points brought to you by the Dallas Renegades. Mount up for 2027. Place your season ticket deposits today. So with 8:42 to go in the fourth quarter, Carroll strikes back in a hurry. The score is Jenks 33, Carroll 28 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building, attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
CJ Wright returns the kick for the Trojans across the 25-yard line to the 26, and that's where Jenks takes over here with 8.5 minutes to go in the fourth. Send the tight end in motion right to left. Kazar fires over the middle, nearly picked off again, looking for Dillard. And the accuracy from Kazar has waned a little bit here in the second half.
Yeah, he came in as notable with his accuracy. That was what he is known for. You haven't seen it a lot tonight. It's interesting that Coach Geidler is moving away from the run on first down.
They've talked about the 300 rushing yards today. They fake it to the running back. Kazar's going to keep it, lower his head, and then get blown up by Landon Harris after a short gain. Harris has had a huge day at that linebacker spot.
Guy White, get in on it, baby. Landon Harris, the South Dakota State commit. I saw him rallying the troops there right before the punt or the return, getting his defense ready for this stand. He's a terrific leader. He's that Mike position. He's everything you want in the linebacker.
Third down for Jenks. Carroll defense maybe starting to feel it a little bit. It's Kazar. Back to throw. They've got a spy on him. Throws over the middle. Dropped. Had Cam Clinton there. And in and out of the hands, we've seen a few very costly drops for the Trojans tonight.
Great pressure by Jason Maxill, number 94. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a freshman, 14 years old. 14 years old. Incredible.
So now the Trojans will punt again. And we heard the message from Coach Munn throughout the week that, Jenks plays a lot of these guys both ways. And Carroll felt that it had the depth to compete as Bryant Fair catches this punt. And maybe that depth coming into play a little bit here as the Dragons have gotten stronger.
I think you're seeing it
as the game goes on.
I think you're seeing that defensive line rotation, the fresh bodies getting in there, making some plays late in the game, wearing down, all these two-way players. It's not easy, but when your identity is that, a game that's 105, 108 degrees at kickoff, you've seen a lot of cramping on the field. It will wear you down.
The Dragons now with an opportunity to take a lead for the first time today after the defense forces back-to-back 3-and-outs by the Trojans. Biggers in there at running back. Tomczyk will throw. Looking right sideline for Gunter. Overthrew him. In coverage back there was Cade Klein. But Tomczyk's been looking to Gunter, been looking to Knowles a little bit more here in the second half. Need out in the slot to the left side. They motion Biggers out of the backfield. Tomczyk will check it down to Biggers, who spins away from the first tackle and falls forward across the 35. Nice job by Biggers to make the first man miss and pick up 5 yards.
Yeah, making something out of nothing.
And there is a Trojans player down. It was the player who contacted Biggers first. It's Cam Clinton being helped up along the Jenks sideline. He's favoring that right arm. Third and 8 for the Dragons. Keep saying big play. All of these third downs here in this fourth quarter been big. Jenks brings everybody up to the line. Nobody's back deep over the top. 3 receivers right for Carroll.
Yeah, they had to roll over. They were exposing a possible need seam down the middle.
Tomczyk will throw. Has Bryant right at the sticks, trying to spin his way forward. They're going to give him the first down to the 45.
Really impressed with Des Bryant Jr. tonight. Just the poise and the moxie and getting in and out of his routes, making a play, getting upfield, finding the first down marker.
Dragons trail by 5, under 6.5 to go in the fourth. Tomczyk dumps it over the middle, broken up, nearly picked off. Flying in from that safety position was Caleb Dillard, and Brody Knowles slow to get up for Carroll here. It was a big-time collision over the middle. Knowles being helped to his feet, walking off with a little support. Dillard also favoring his right leg. You can see Dillard said he's going to Florida. He's going as a defensive back. You can see the closing speed
so close,
with that ball
so
coming over the middle.
So fast.
He'll be playing most likely safety at the next level.
So joining former Carroll Dragon Harrison Moore, who makes his debut at center for the Florida Gators.
Dillard coming off the field. On 2nd and 10. Tomczyk is going to take a shot down the left sideline again. This time a little too far, was looking for Gunter. But they've had success on some of these deep passes, though, today.
They have, especially, Knowles has been a game changer on that end, just being able to get it up to the 6'5" guy. And but again, Hudson's done a great job of just getting his guys, his playmakers involved. Huge third down for the Dragons.
Knowles is back on the field here. The top guy on your screen, the formation for the Dragons. Gunter all alone on the right side. Tomczyk under pressure, throws over the middle, caught. Knowles 35, spinning his way down to the 31 where he's finally brought down. Brody Knowles continues to just take over this game in the second half.
It's just Brody Knowles' world, and we're living in it, folks. He is putting on a clinic tonight. Terrific job, Brody Knowles.
CLC Roofing replay there. Look at another reception for Knowles as they give it to Biggers. Keep it on the ground. Gets up to the 25.
There we go. Get the big bodies up front. Little inside zone. What Biggers does great is getting that zone, making that cut, getting upfield. Great job by the Dragon offensive line.
Carroll going quickly here, trying to keep the Jenks defense on its heels. Tomczyk going to be hitting the backfield sack. Didn't see pressure coming from the right side and is going to be taken down there. Sacks brought to you by the Dragon Den. Dason Wood, the sophomore defensive end on that tackle in the backfield. 3rd and 8. They bring everybody. Tomchek gets rid of it to his running back. Biggers across the 25, runs over a defender at the 20 and has the first down. What a check down by Tomchek with everybody in his face.
You love it with the poise in the pocket, dumping it to Biggers, and Biggers' second effort to get that first down. He was getting closed down on. Great job on finding the sticks and making the first down.
Ball at the 19, 2 receivers each side. Tomchek lost it, picked it up. Now trying to make something out of it, is going to slide down after a gain of maybe a yard. Knowles tonight so far, by the way, 8 catches, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns.
It's a good night.
Yeah. So after that near fumble that Tomchek was able to recover, it'll be 2nd and 10 with 3 receivers to the left. Hudson takes the snap, gives to Biggers, a couple of yards, and then he's met by this Jenks defensive line. Mobley on the stop. Or Fergal, rather, on the carry. That's Biggers.
That's big Mobley. He plays both ways as well. He's a starting right tackle. He's a guy who's got several offers as well, but only a sophomore.
3rd down. 3 minutes to go. Probably looking at 4 down territory for Carroll. Tomchek brings down the high snap under pressure. Flips it out. Caught. Gunter inside the 10. That's going to be a first down. He's been going back to his playmakers, and Gunter hauls that one in for him to pick up a first down.
Oh, you love it. Just watching the pressure in his face. He knows he's going to get hit. Makes a great throw. And what a play by Blake Gunter coming back to the ball.
So it's 1st and goal. Tomchek, design run, takes the snap, dives forward, and he's just shy of the goal line, down at the 3. Carroll has not led tonight. Now with 2:20 to go, trying to take its first lead of the game. Tomchek going to keep it again. Turns the corner, gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. 2nd rushing touchdown of the night for the junior quarterback. And Carroll leads for the first time today.
I can't say what poise Hudson has had in the second half. Tremendous job on just putting the offense on his shoulders, saying, I'm going to get it done passing, I'm going to get it done running. Again, second time finding the end zone with his legs. He's just a dynamic athlete. He brings so much versatility to this Carroll offense.
Touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. And Carroll going to try to make it a 3-point game, so Jenks can only tie with a field goal. We look at this 2-point try. Biggers in the backfield. Gunter on the right, Knowles on the left. Bryant comes in motion. Tomchek rolling right, now looking left, pumps, tosses one up to the corner, and the receiver cut the opposite way. Was looking for Need back there, but he cut back to his right, so it falls incomplete, and it remains a 1-point lead for the Dragons. With 2:09 to go in the 4th, it's Carroll 34, Jenks 33 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak, and another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn-ins. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
This is Pastors John and Todd from White's Chapel in Southlake. White's Chapel is a church where it's all about Jesus. We're a place where real people make genuine connections, where it's okay not to be okay.
We're a church where grace is a lifestyle and where everyone has a place. From the lifelong believer to the unchurched or de-churched, we're here for you, and we'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
The Dragons have their first lead of the night at 34-33. As Vidal kicks this one away, it will be returned by Wright. Looking for some running room. He's going to be tripped up as he crossed the 20-yard line. And that's where Jenks will get started after a great drive by the Dragons. 14 plays, 67 yards, 5 minutes, 30 seconds off the clock to put Jenks into a position where probably looking at its final possession of the game.
You know, you're battling a fatigued Jenks offense, and then you have a somewhat fresh Carroll defense. With that rotation, they're able to bring in and out. We're going to see if that plays a difference here on this drive.
Clock will stop here after this first play for the 2-minute timeout as Kazar throws, caught 30-yard line, and brought down there is Dillard for the first down, and that will bring us to the 2-minute timeout in the second half. So 2 minutes to go. Jenks with all three of its timeouts. Carroll has a couple and a 1-point lead. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The score is Carroll 34, Jenks 33 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building, attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
Dragons 34, Trojans 33 with just under 2 minutes to go in regulation tonight. Carroll's defense trying to come up with one more stop that could secure a season-opening win. Kazar under pressure, flushed out to the right, gets rid of it, incomplete. Looking for Dillard again. And the time that he had earlier in the game has not been there lately.
Well, you're starting to see the fatigue. You're seeing the offensive line. They've been out there grinding. This defensive line is coming in, getting pressure. And you've got to get Kazar out of the pocket, get him running. He's not a very accurate passer when he's running right or left.
So now 2nd and 10. CJ Wright motions into the slot. Kazar will throw. Looking over the middle. This one's incomplete. Landon Harris undercut the route. Was looking for Cato.
Again, really surprised by the play calling here by Coach Gaylor here. You have over 30 yards rushing in the game. You haven't gone to it. Just to put in some more manageable downs. I wouldn't have, the faith in Kazar to get the ball down the field. He's underthrown a lot of balls tonight.
And they go empty backfield here on 3rd down. Wright, the running back, is in the slot on the right side. 3 down linemen for the Dragons. Kazar looking to throw. Right side, hit as he throw. It flutters incomplete.
And who else, Chris? The 14-year-old Jace.
Max Seal.
Max Seal comes in. The freshman makes a huge play. Watch his get off. And ladies and gentlemen, that is versus a Division I commit to Oklahoma State. beats him on the inside move, gets to the quarterback. What a play by the freshman.
Replay is brought to you by CLC Roofing. If your roof is bad, call Chad. Kazar just 1 for his last 8 pass attempts. And Jenks will call a timeout here before this 4th and 10 play. So if you're Jenks, where are you looking here on this 4th down?
I think everyone in the stadium knows who you're looking for. You're looking for Dillard. You got to get it to him. You got to get it in space. You got to get him making a play. Watch out for the slant. I don't think you can really do a bubble of any sort. You've got to get some separation for him and allow him to make a play.
He's had a quiet second half. They got him the ball early in the first half of this game when they got out to that 27-point lead, but he has not had as many touches here in the second. If you joined us late, Jenks got off to a 27-0 lead in the first half. Carroll cut it to 27-21 before Jenks made it 33-21. And then Carroll with 2 more touchdowns to take the lead. So 4th down. 2 running backs back there. They're going to motion Dillard out of the backfield. Kazar will throw. Looking left, under pressure, looking for Dillard. Throws caught across the 40. No, they're going to rule incomplete. Dillard thought he had it. The official came in and said it was incomplete, and the Dragons come up with the 4th down stop.
What a play. The defensive line on this series made the difference. Even on this last play, Jason Maxill almost has another sack. What an incredible job by this Dragon defensive line.
So the Dragons come up with the stop. Dillard's so close to being able to haul that one in, but it just could not get the hand under it. And Carroll will take over with 90 seconds to go.
It's a good call.
Jenks has all 3 of its timeouts. The Dragons probably going to need to pick up a 1st down in order to run out the clock.
A little bit of the Dragon mystique, the Dragon lore.
I mean, if Carroll can find a way
to win,
after
baby.
Going down 27-0 in the opening game of the year, it shows a lot about this younger team the Dragons have in place this season. 1st down, going to keep it on the ground. This is Biggers, just tucks it and gets forward for a couple of yards. Jenks will call a timeout. Timeouts tonight brought to you by the Feed Store Barbecue.
That's their 3rd and final of the half.
Those timeouts were flipped on our screen. Jenks had 1. Carroll has all 3 of its timeouts, so that's the last timeout for Jenks. So they cannot stop the clock anymore. The Dragon sideline starting to feel it a little bit here. Although with a 1-point lead, not going to be comfortable till it's all zeros on the clock. But a good group of Carroll fans made the drive over from Southlake tonight.
Great crowd.
A lot of the Jenks crowd making the long drive down from the Tulsa area. Get a look there at the Carroll fans. Hudson Tomczyk trying to get the Dragons to win number 1 under head coach Lee Munn. Tomczyk takes the snap, going to stay on his feet for a moment before he takes the knee.
What a game for these Carroll Dragons. I tell you what, facing adversity, coming back, punching it right in the mouth and saying, we're not going away. We're going to keep fighting.
Carroll looks like it's going to use one of its timeouts here. Then that play clock run down, or they'll just take the delay of game penalty.
Delay of game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
They'll have to take one more knee, and that'll do it. The Dragons will be able to start the year with a win over one of the best teams in the state of Oklahoma, a team that has won 18 state titles. Had a really dominant run under head coach Alan Trimble from 1996 to 2017. He won 13 titles in that stretch. Last time they won was in 2021. As Tomchak gets ready to take a knee for the second time. Takes the knee, the play clock resets, and the Dragons will be able to run this one out. As the players start to high five and the opening night hugs on the field. As this one is over, Carroll comes back from a 27-point first half deficit and sneaks away from the Cotton Bowl with a 34-33 win over Jenks in the season opener.
What an incredible game. This is a young Dragon team. A lot of positions are brand new. A brand new defense, brand new head coach, new quarterback, new skill positions. Guys, this is what you want in a first game. You want to face adversity. You want to overcome it. You want to grow as a team. And I tell you what a dynamic way to start the season for this Carroll Dragon football team.
And the way they came back out of the locker room in the second half, made the adjustments, settled things down a little bit, and relied on that depth that Coach Munn talked about to come away with a win over Jenks. So the players shaking hands at midfield right now. And, this is just the first of 3 very difficult non-district games.
It's a gauntlet.
That await the Dragons this season. So we'll take a timeout, come back with final stats, and get Robert's final thoughts on this one. But Carroll winners in the opener tonight, 34-33 over Jenks on the Dragons Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
You can trust your medical care at Southlake Dermatology. We have over 65 years of experience between Dr. Bowers, Dr. Tynard, and our 4 physician assistants. We treat a wide range of medical, surgical, and cosmetic concerns ranging from skin cancer, hair loss, rashes, increased sweating, and anti-aging. There are multiple new options for hair loss, such as Nutrafol supplements and PRP injections. View our services online at southlakedermatology.com.
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Well, what a win for the Dragons tonight. 34-33 over Jenks out of the Tulsa area. And Robert just talked about it during the second half, but to be able to overcome this 27-point deficit that they faced after the fourth Jenks touchdown early on, what does it say about this group, and what can you kind of take from this one? Some positives, some things that need to improve. What are some of the big picture things for you?
I think number one, you can't get away from that. It's a win. You know, it's a huge win. You're talking about you've had an inter-squad scrimmage, 2 scrimmages, and then this game in a completely reloaded defense. You've got to take the win. Doesn't matter what it looks like or how you got there, you won. And that's the name of the game. And a little bit of Dragon magic helped along the way. But what I love seeing is the resiliency of this team to come back and not give up, not point fingers, not get upset. They found a way to get it done. Now, that's great. That's great for tonight. Now, tomorrow in this weekend, you get back in the film room. There's going to be adjustments. People are going to start settling into spots. You saw some big-time plays, some by some freshmen, some by some new faces, and then you had your old reliables that came through. You've got to take that, and with this stretch coming up with North Crowley and then Allen, you're going to be tested. But this is why Coach Munn decided to play these type of games, is to get the team prepared for what the ultimate goal is, and that is to win a state championship.
And Lee Munn, see, passing around a game ball, gets his first win as the official head coach of the Dragons. He was the interim head coach for one game during the COVID season, during the playoffs, and the Dragons came away with a win. So I guess technically he's 2-0. But still, it's got to be a great feeling going into it. You built it this offseason. It's your program now, and you get that win.
Oh, it's a special moment. You know, we were here for last year for Dodgers Hunters win, and now we're here really for his, Coach Munn's first win running the program. And he did it in dramatic fashion. And, it says a lot about keeping those guys together in those adjustments that you came in the halftime, and you saw what happened in the first half, and you said, listen, we're not out. We're in it. Let's regroup. Let's make our adjustments, and let's move on. And they did, and they did a terrific job with it. And I'm going to tell you, you look at that defense and that defensive line in the last 2 series. We talked about the rotation and the depth. This team is starting to build some depth in key positions where they haven't necessarily had it before.
Some of the numbers from statistician Monty Clegg tonight. Hudson Tomczyk, 16 of 24, 289 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He also ran for 15 yards and 2 touchdowns. Palmer Penson had 67 yards passing and a touchdown. But not much else for Carroll on the ground. Most of the yardage came through the air. Brody Knowles, 8 catches for 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. Blake Gunter had 6 grabs for 62 yards. And Easton Need, 2 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, and I think we talk about just looking at those stats, what you've got to look at is get back in the film room. How do we get this run game going? Jenks does a lot of different things up front that make it difficult for a run scheme. But at the same time, I think you look at it, how can we get that run game going? Because they need to rely on that in the weeks to come.
Dragons, or on the flip side, I should say, Trojans do rack up more than 300 yards on the ground. Great night for C.J. Wright, 197 rushing yards and a touchdown. He also had 33 yards through the air. But look at the final number for the quarterback, Landon Kazar. He started out really accurate, ends the game 7 of 21. So a lot of incompletions in that second half.
And I think, you got to take your hats off to Jenks. What a program, what history, what a culture they have in Oklahoma. And I tell you what, to come down, they did it right. And, barely losing here at the end. Hats off to a classy program. And, they're also going to take this and have, things to work on. But I tell you what, they're one heck of a ball club, and they're going to be wrecking some havoc in Oklahoma.
Well, next week, the Dragons, as Robert mentioned, continue this non-district gauntlet, taking on North Crowley on the road, a team that won a state title 2 years ago and has a new head coach. Ray Gates has moved on, and defensive coordinator, similar situation to Carroll, promoted to the head coaching position. So we'll get a chance to see North Crowley, which has its first game tomorrow night against Aledo, welcoming the Bearcats to 6A. So that'll be a good one if you're watching games tomorrow. But we'll see North Crowley at North Crowley next week, Friday night at 7 o'clock. Of course, keep an eye on start times. This time of year, those things do seem subject to change depending on the weather. But that'll do it for us here from the Cotton Bowl tonight. For our director, Tim Polster, statistician Monty Clegg, and for Robert Clayton, Chris Blake saying goodnight from the Cotton Bowl, where Carroll wins the state line showdown over Jenks 34-33. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by White's Chapel.